I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I see the world through everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Empty hearts and neon lights. The playing with my mind.
Dire team back.
I guess so.
I guess so. Still. Yesterday, it got like 4th and 5th picked a few times yesterday,
Yeah,
like all the way through. But that was, as we said, the other group, right?
Yeah. I kind of wish there was a stat site that I could go on to be able to see just what groups are picking differently. That would be interesting.
It would be really big. I think
we have a general idea, but
isn't that what you're here for, Cap? The research and the
no, I'm here to
gathering?
open the show and pass it off to my analysts who are supposed to have done the research and provide that analysis.
I brought the stats about the Spirit and Navi 0
You did.
2 0.
Where's your stat? Where's your stat, Brian?
I was told that Team Spirits won their last 3 series and they literally just lost a secret.
Yeah, but you know,
he made a good point about momentum.
That's not momentum. They lost their last series.
Hater alert. Okay, you were the one yesterday. Let me bring it up while we were in it. Like, you're looking, oh, who has to play secret? We're just going to chalk that one off. So now I'm using your basis, and you're not accepting it. It's a little bit weird, but whatever.
Navi.
Rulebook Grant hit you again, BSJ. What can you say?
There's a reason I didn't respond. I don't have a rebuttal.
Hey, a lot of support's being banned in this one, right? We've been seeing mostly offlaners and cores, and Man, Grimstroke looks real juicy because of all the other ones being banned out.
Look at that Nyx Assassin sneaking into those bans as well. Somebody recognized.
I also think he looks juicy because that paintbrush is dripping.
It is.
10 seconds remaining.
So what do we pick against a Grimstroke opener?
5
Is it just too
seconds
open?
remaining.
Is it you just focus on more in your own lineup?
Well,
Because the only hero that I can think of that specifically one-to-one is Oracle.
Yeah.
That's banned.
well, there's a lot of one-to-ones. The Blinding Light, I think is pretty solid. The Oracle, even the Shout Demon Disruption in lane. The Tusk makes sense to me now.
Okay, Tusk.
Because you can snowball things well in lane. Like whatever is against him, you fight back against the Grim. You're scared because he's gonna obviously stun you both, and you snowball towards the very end of it.
Nature's
Prophet Tusk.
So a Tusk Nature's Prophet.
I think you actually have to pick Tusk, and then at that point you're like, okay, since we're picking Tusk, what we want a ranged offlaner or Pango. Those are the two options.
Oof,
And they go for Pango to maybe not pseudo deny, but it's also just good against Tusk, right? We've said we said the premium offlaner against Tusk is Pango because he's an agility hero, not a strength hero, and he has a way to get away from the snowball and the shards, and he just doesn't really care about Tusk's toolkit for the most part.
And it feels like they protected that Pango pickup with their Grimstroke opener as well, right?
5 seconds.
True.
It feels like Team Spirit had this very nicely planned out.
Yeah, honestly, I like both teams' openings. You see,
They're
they have
both
a plan.
reasonable.
They have chances to win lanes. And Nature's Prophet is. I don't think Pango. After seeing the 4 Pango yesterday, I don't know. Maybe it has just moved to an offlaner middle kind of thing. I did not like the support Pango at all. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but it felt a little bit off because we saw it actually the stats. We saw it 6 times in a row as an offlaner. And before that, it was picked as a 4, and then we saw it as a 4 yesterday. I was like, just didn't look very good. So
I think the hero doesn't do too much in lane, so he's like, okay, remember at the start of the NA region and stuff, I was saying how I wanted to see Bounty Hunter?
yeah,
And what I had about Bounty Hunter was, I'm like, he's not a lane winner, but he's going to annoy the guy and get what he needs out of the lane. I kind of view the same thing about Pango, where it's like, he's not a lane winner, but he just kind of gets what he needs out of the lane. And I think as a 4 position, it's your job to like help the offlaner get what he needs out of the lane, and he doesn't do that really. While as a 3, you're like, okay, if I have any support, like a Shaker that blocks the lane for me, or an Enigma that drags the lane back, I'll just be on my own little island up here, and you guys can do your thing. I'll have Rolling Thunder, and I'll beep all over some bitches.
yeah.
The only thing Pango really has as a 4 position is his mobility to cut creep waves and stack them up. That's not really, like, anybody could do that, right?
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to have mobility in order to stack creeps. As
Buy boots.
PL's real... Oh, they already banned it, never mind.
Good call by them. Yeah, you're right. When you saw that, you're like PL, and they're like, all right, we covered that base.
That one's taken care of.
I think DP, I'm still seeing so much play, and I just don't see it that successful. I know why.
It needs to be a core. I've not seen it. I've seen success on it when it's core.
Even off lane, just not.
Yeah. We saw 2 DPs off lane win yesterday.
That said, are you okay with Na'Vi revealing that it is a core so early?
Yes, I'm fine with that.
I feel like that is the case here with Nature's Prophet.
You have a save, and you have absolute last pick, so you're giving yourself a little bit of flexibility with like, hey, we have most likely a mid that is hard to counter. Nothing really crushes it. It's like the difference between the best matchups and the worst matchups for DP just really isn't that big. So my question would be, since PL's out, no.
Oh, the Timbersaw versus the Tusk, and even the DP. Okay.
So I'm gonna have some conviction today.
Okay.
Which I always seem to have. It doesn't work though. And say that I think Timbersaw is the most overrated hero in this entire tournament, and I'm gonna say they don't win because they picked that right there.
Well, the stats don't disagree with you. 38 times picked, but is the 2nd most picked and banned hero. 39% win rate.
Yeah, I just don't. I see if they had 2 strength heroes, why it would be good, but Timbersaw is literally bad against all 3 of those heroes. So
And then you have the Pango Timbersaw. Like, you pick those two right after each other.
I will be thoroughly impressed and fascinated when if Team Spirit wins this game, but I don't think you can just pick Timber like that. I don't understand it. I think what they did was their goal is, hey, they have profit DP. They're threatening to barrel down lanes.
Yeah.
We need to have a guy that stands in front of towers. Like, I think that's why they picked it.
Meanwhile, you could have taken like a Lycan opener. We've seen Lycan against Death Prophet. It survives against the harassment of Nature's Prophet in lane. Like, then you would have had just a 1-to-1. Hey, this carry beats that carry.
They go for the Lycan later.
All right.
Oh, maybe the Timbersaw pick's okay. This is why I don't have conviction cap.
Just already one more pick later. Okay.
Yeah, on paper it seems so bad, but then you're like, well, I guess game plan wise, the Timbersaw's game's gonna suck, but it's gonna like make it so this 10-minute death ball doesn't occur.
Brian's got a spine made of rubber over there.
He's thinking.
I've already made my decision. Navi's gonna win this game based on my prediction, but that usually means Team Spirit will win the game.
It is. I mean, you still did pick the Lycan, giving it a core into the Monkey. So no matter what, this Monkey King should have a pretty good lane,
I actually like Monkey King in game as well against Lycan because he's one of the few carries where you like try to commit onto him or his team and he just ults. And usually in terms of like Roche fights and stuff, Monkey King's really nice because you control an area and Lycan always has a tough time fighting into you. And even though Lycan's nice against the two Prophets, I think Monkey King is good at dissuading. The only issue is Na'Vi
10 seconds remaining.
good at dissuading him from running in. Is Na'Vi doing 5 DP now because they just picked their carry? Or is it I hope it's 5 Nature's Prophet, to be honest with you. I don't want to see 5 DP.
Which would you rather have?
I would much rather.
5 Nature's Prophet against Timbersaw?
When they pick Timbersaw, I'd rather have the 5 Nature's Prophet, and you can probably even just run the Nature's Prophet in the offlane.
Navi's turn to pick.
Like, just you don't have to lane it just because it's a 5 in the respective lane. So at that point,
that hero's been showing up a little bit more.
It has. Yes, I think we saw it twice yesterday after like only seeing it one other time.
It's looking like a juicy Bat Rider game, boys.
Oh, the old B rider.
Oh, this is about the best Bat Rider game I've seen in a while. Monkeys Forever shout out for the 10th pick Bat Rider in all the pubs.
Remaining.
It does look pretty good.
Dude, if they don't pick Bat.
If they don't pick Bat, what should they pick? Or is it just like that? It just stands out so much for you. It's hard.
It's so good, man. It was like the Veno yesterday. It speaks to me.
I don't disagree. Is there any chance that they think that they would rather have a save? Another save for the Death Prophet?
I think the Tusk has to be enough if you're going to pick the DP like that.
Okay.
Like, at this point in the game, there's just too many... Like, you can't assume your last pick can give you something your lineup needs. You need to, like, be responding to what the opponent did. And their initiation is pretty lackluster anyways, so I think they could use that. Like, you don't want to be leading off with Boundless Strike. Like, that's not the way Monkey King wants to play. So you want the Bat Rider to drag them into this Monkey King ulti. Or, like, into the Monkey King who's channeling his ulti, and then the guy's just dead. And against a lineup, or against a hero like Lycan, who, what does he do about it? Like, he's not gonna come fight you.
The other initiator's still in the pool. Mars, Centaur, DK.
Damn.
If it's just an initiator, it's fine, but I don't think you should pick a strength hero on a Timbersaw.
Sure.
You should just pick, like, DP as a core, Monkey King as a core, and Bat Rider as a core. I feel like Timbersaw is useless at that point. Like, it doesn't feel good at all to play Timber. But they clearly disagree with me.
Maybe no time.
Okay, so on paper it's really nice against Lycan.
Yeah.
But it's not Bat Rider.
What crazy ending picks. For me, these are some crazy last picks. I don't know. I'll say it. I think Team Spirit has been looking like the better team. I think they have a lineup they can win with, very fast paced. I mean, if it's the Pangolier, it is going to be the 4 position, which I said I didn't believe in too much, but with the Grimstroke on their side, we saw when a 4 and 5, if they can work together and just gank middle and gank other lanes, it's very good. You know what? I believe in Ergon. I really do, even as Lena.
Support Death Prophet and Mid-Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
Can I just say I like equally hate both of these drafts?
Sure.
Okay.
Hater alert.
There we go. Whoop, whoop. This game's going to be super one-sided. I really don't know what way it's going to be, but it's going to be super one-sided. I have a feeling we're gonna know who wins this game in like 9 or 10 minutes.
Spirit, 27 minutes.
Well,
I'll go Na'Vi for 29 minutes.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, I got more than just predictions. I got exact time predictions from my analysts. Incredible. All right, let's get into our opening series for this stream anyway. It's Gods, it's Blitz, it's Na'Vi versus Spirit.
A must-win game for Na'Vi, who currently sit 2 wins, 3 losses. Blitz, Spirit, 3 wins. So a Na'Vi win would put these 2 teams tied, but the big picture is you gotta climb your way up to that top 4. How are you feeling about this series?
Well, the fans obviously think that Na'Vi, despite having the worst record so far in the group, are favored to win.
Okay.
How do I feel though? I have no idea. I think Spirit will win this game, but I'm not too confident about that.
Is that based, when you say that, based on the draft or based on them looking like the better team so far?
I think it's a very good liking game. I don't think that's like as far as it goes right now for me. I just think it's a really good liking game.
The Tidehunter is not enough to deal with this hero.
I think Tide, in fact, is like in my lane okay, but I think pace of game wise, it's really slow. Like if you mess up one Ravage healed combo, I think your game plan is kind of messed up. If anything, I think you can go aggro and then put your Timbersaw safe lane. I don't know if that's that bad of an idea. Yeah, Monkey notoriously does not love aggro lanes. It doesn't look like they're going to do that, but...
I mean, you mentioned, the Tide versus Lycan, obviously, the pace of the game not good for him, but it's also not good against, the Timbersaw, which is perhaps where there was some surprise that that Tidehunter got picked up, even though it's good on paper against Lycan, definitely not good on paper against Timbersaw.
Yeah, I think Seb actually showed that the matchup is okay once you're like, if you're really good and you hit like level 5, it's kind of dealable as Tide once you have a mask.
Just avoid the Timbersaw as much as possible. And
so there's a pretty fun interaction, like every single time you do the stat drain, by the second one or something, once you have enough levels through your Kraken, it actually gives you back all your strength, and it's almost like it just like straight up heals you back.
Ah,
so then it's not that bad, because I was wondering why he wasn't losing that bad, and then somebody told me, and then I rewatched it and I agreed. That's one of the few times somebody has hit, like, PM me on Reddit, and it was like an actual useful like I was like, oh, they got 4 bounties.
It's over.
What the hell?
Wrap it up. Let's call it. 4 bounty runes. Game is over. Not much else to say.
Have you heard of my Exodia strat? I bring it up all the time,
Exodia.
But soon I will not be able to, so... It's where you get the first 8 bounty runes of the game and the game just ends. If you somehow give up 8 bounty runes in a row, that should be like the hidden objective of Dota.
It's like a table tennis where when you used to play at 21, if someone wins like the first 7 points, it's just over.
Yeah.
It's like 7-0, it's over. You're not even going to play at 21 anymore.
It's like a mercy rule thing.
Yeah. That was I don't know. I think that was just a house rule that a lot of people had. But yes, the mercy rule of Dota, I guess. 8 bounties means.
I mean, 8 bounties is pretty hard to get if you think about it. 8 is a lot in a row.
Yeah. And once you've gotten 4, though.
That's very true. You're halfway there.
Yeah.
Dang. We're good at math.
I mean, you would force Spirit to, all in 5-man just to make sure they get 1 bounty rune.
Would that not be hype? I think that'd be pretty hype.
Imagine the game ending at 5 minutes. Just done. And like the Na'Vi and Spirit fans just like, so it's just over?
Radiant victory.
Not sold on this idea coming into play.
Do you think about how hard that is, though? Yeah, to be fair, nice snipe on the courier. Interesting setup, by the way. This is going to be a 5-position Death Prophet.
Yeah, and kind of taking the lane. Looks like Monkey King is dealing with some creep waves behind the tower. Yeah, so he's pulled this back, and creep waves meet in different places. But yeah, this is, I think, at least for Na'Vi, the lanes we expected once we saw who was playing what hero. but Nature's Prophet mid against Lina. Why do you think they're looking to run the Prophet?
Because I need a core that paces. And I think if you have Death Prophet as well, problem is that all your damage is very cooldown reliant, which I think is pretty bad. Plus, Nature's Prophet 5 sounds really bad against Timbersaw, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Is it not the same for Nature's Prophet core, though? Like, isn't it normally often worse if your core is being countered, whereas teams will put a hero into a support, or like, oh, I think countered, let's play as a support.
I think in-game he'll get like Silver Edge and stuff like that at a reasonable time. Because in lane anyways, I'm thinking about like how the treants are pretty much going to heal him.
Yes. You don't want to... You definitely don't want to lane against him, which is, you know, you're playing mid. You know you're not getting that Timbersaw mid matchup, at least not at this point. Okay. I mean, pace of the game, I think we see this a bit with Na'Vi. They're looking to play the lanes and not going all in for these kills. They're just happy to kind of secure their farm. Is there going to be any big first moves, do you think? Like, is the 4 position Tusk looking to make some early rotations, or are we just happy with how things are going?
If anybody was going to make a move, it would be this Tusk, for sure. But I don't think... I think this is going to be a fairly static laning phase. Maybe Tusk ends up going bottom at some point. I think that's the only place that Slayer can actually pick up kills.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the Snowball tag team already up. He's got the Urn queued up. Definitely a good game for Spirit Vessel whenever you're playing against Timbersaw. And we'll see back in the mid lane, Lina trying to deal with some of these treants. Nature's Prophet, not in lane, is back at base healing up, using that double TP to just constantly bring out items and be full health, full mana. Isn't doing the best against the Lina. Only 11 last hits to the 19 of Lina. Quite a few denies, some of which are probably treants, so it's probably a little bit inflated on the deny side.
Yeah.
But
Timber is 39% win rate this month. And this month is essentially most of Europe.
okay, this is just in this tournament though, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, so.
I can check this week too.
It definitely hasn't looked good at when we've seen it. We've seen a few teams pick it. It hasn't been running over games like it used to be. Like Funnick, his Timbersaw comes to mind, where it feels like teams have just figured out how to deal with this hero very well.
Yeah, but the most picked hero this week is Grimstroke. Grimstroke occupies some weird zone where teams don't really ban it, but it does feel very good.
Yeah.
Oh, top.
There's first blood. It's going to be Pasha going down to Misha, the Grimstroke you mentioned. Yeah, all about the Inkswell with Grimstroke, it feels like. Everyone's kind of understanding how strong this spell is and how to use it better and better.
I mean, I think you picked this Tidehunter to counter the Lycan, but you already gave a first blood to it. And the Timbersaw is doing... Oh, dude, he's going to go for Maul. Oh, never mind. This time it's the other way.
They got 3. Yeah. No. Immersion needs to be a little bit careful not to mess with Ilias. It's a 5-position Death Prophet, and there's a lot of potential damage up. But the Inkswell on the Lycan will insta-crack, and though Pasha with some fortunate timing on that one. As Ilias is going to rotate up top, so it's Death Prophet coming up top. It's always, if you're going to get kills, it's going to be around the Tusk if you're Na'Vi. So instead of Tusk rotating, they're going to rotate towards the Tusk and look to bring down Misha here. They go in 2 Hero Silence, the Spirit Siphon and Misha. Yeah, he knows he's
worth it. Magical gets the last hit for it, but
if Monkey King can still lane bottom, it's probably fine, but maybe that's kind of the question. Back at mid, there's a Laguna Blade, Magical. They get back to safety. It doesn't look like Urgon's going to be able to get an LSA, and there's going to be a rotation in from Slayer. Another Dragon Slave coming out. Urgon a bit low on mana. And it does look like Immersion is going to go down to 1 or 2 more right click, but Nature's Prophet couldn't keep up. I'm surprised Immersion got away from the Nature's Prophet there. Slayer not going to get hit. Oh my god, he dodged the Dragon Slave and the Swashbuckle. And now Magical, he's going to TP in forward. He wants this rune. The double damage is picked up, and he's coming back for Urgon with a rotation from Monkey King. Monkey King's on the way. Urgon is in all sorts of trouble. The Boundless Strike, is it going to reach in time? It's not going to get cast. I believe they didn't quite see the TP in time, and it probably was out of range. Whew. Close shave.
That just was a weird symphony of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot happened, but nothing really ended. Yeah.
A lot, but not a lot.
And we saw the rotation of the Tusk and the Death Prophet up here. They must think that the Monkey is fighting against the Timber, and they would be correct.
Yes.
Timbersaw is level 5 now, though. This is usually the zone where he's okay at laning. And once he hits 6, he's perfectly fine against the Monkey King. In fact, you can get some pressure going.
Definitely Yeah, not a scenario where he should be dying solo to Monkey King, but it looks like a TP from Nature's Prophet back to base once again. Possibly going to TP back out to lane. We'll see if there's any movements to these side lanes or if Magical's just happy to keep playing the farm game. It does feel like this mid Nature's Prophet's like this very greedy style where you're just constantly getting these early game items and levels before you make those rotations.
He doesn't really have anywhere to rotate to. Is the thing. Like Timbersaw, he does literally nothing against. Unless like he pops his ulti and Tusk is there or something like that. But he can't really lock him in or anything like that. But he can push. That is one thing.
He does just that, and then Immersion does show up. The Tusk with an iShots tag team, they might have this kill. Nature's Prophet didn't chase, but Elias is there. He's like, yeah, we got this one. Spirit Siphon tag team, no problem. Like support kill and a tier 1 tower. He definitely can push. We're seeing that here.
Yeah, this is what they need to do. They need to put pressure on the map. And he went Vlad Snow Boots. Pretty nice. I'm actually kind of a fan of this. I feel like he needs teamfight items. And they rotated towards bottom to avoid and take a tower of their own. They might even debate just going for 2 here. I would like to see the Tidehunter run towards mid though with his ultimate when he does decide to get it.
Navi is smoked up. They want this magical kill. They don't. I mean, they theoretically have yeah, that's it. They should have initiation here. They've got the Boundless Strike. If the Tusk goes in as well. Urgon in all sorts of trouble. He's trying to turn and get some kills on his way out, and he'll get one with the Tusk going down. Old Afterlife rotating in on the Timbersaw, so leaving the Lycan alone bottom, who's already taken that tier 1 tower. A 1-for-1 trade in mid.
So both cores have space now, but that's almost a Necrobook 3. As Crystallize gets stunned up, but I think he's got this one easy.
Yep. One more right click, gets the kill. Bonk. Definitely a good start for the Monkey King. Even better start for Jirach's Lycan. He used ultimate at some point. I don't think we saw that one. I don't think he got a kill off of it. But he's top of the net worth, having a free lane up top, and then he's rotated bottom, taking a tier 1 tower, taking over the jungle, doing all the right moves as a Lycan. Do you feel like this is the kind of game that Lycan can run over with this kind of a start?
Yeah, as long as they play the pace right. Like the entire point of your lineup versus their lineup is your lineup has no cooldowns really. Like your longest cooldown that you have to worry about right now is like Pango ulti. Everything else allows you to just like fight non-stop, pretty much. And even Pango ulti, like Rolling Thunder 70 seconds. Yep. It feels like nothing. Lina is like a very, very low cooldown hero. She's also got like a 70-second Laguna Blade, but she can just fight because she has 2 nukes.
Alright, well, outpost coming up. It looks like Team Spirit gonna make sure they secure one of the 2 with the rotation down bottom. And they should be able to get at least 2 of the 4 bounty runes, maybe even more, but it doesn't look like Lina wants to go towards the top ones.
Like this Lycan is going to hit level, or he's going to get Necrobook 3 and then just try to run over them. And every single time Navi pops their big ultis, he's just going to go for it again.
TP back in, Timbersaw has the Calling Blade to get out of the Sprout, and will attempt to chain out. They managed to cancel it perfectly, but the Ice Shot's not going to land in. With the Ink Swell placed on top, they were going to be okay. Elias is going to go down the Lycan rotation with the Shapeshift, but doesn't want to commit too hard for this one. I think understanding that Na'Vi playing defensively around this town, they're going to TP in the Tidehunter. They've got Ravage here. Pasha reveals himself instantly though, so if you're Spirit, you're thinking, okay, Tide's here, let's just back off. Let's go to another lane. You kind of
going to suicide the Wolves in, but it's a free deny.
Yep.
And this Lycan is still having like the sickest game. Yep. Pretty much has book 3 at 11 minutes. Cool.
That's pretty fast. They're hunting him though. They know Shapeshift was used, so they're gonna smoke past this outpost, not get scattered.
Pretty sick rotation.
Yet, and they hug the tree line, so now they're gonna see him as the smoke breaks. They're gonna instantly snowball him with 2 heroes. Grimstroke's there, has an Inkswell stun theoretically, but the silence comes out, catches that poke before the Inkswell is used, so Lycan getting slowed down by the tag team. Jirach in trouble as he gets sprouted, instantly Quelling Blades his way out, but still goes down. Great smoke move from Na'Vi.
Very, very good move. And now you probably want to take the tower. I think at least Magical can stick around and pressure it. So Immersion's already down here. Maybe with his teammates getting a little bit low, this won't be a thing.
We'll see if they commit to this one. They've got level 6 on Death Prophet now, so despite being a 5 position, there is an Exorcism in play. So they're going to just fall back, take the outposts, and be happy with it.
The 0-2-3-5 position Death Prophet. I like it.
Ah, yeah, I mean, Crypt Swarm, not something you typically need if you're a 5 position, I guess. We've seen this early silence come into play a few times in these engagements.
It's actually pretty handy when you level it that much this early on. Like, it's pretty unexpected.
Yeah. It's a pretty long duration silence in an AoE, so... Yep. Coming in is Team Spirit. They're going to find Slayer. Snowball dodges the Inkswell stun, but still in some trouble. But the TP's out. He may survive this one. The chakram damage is going to help bring him down. Immersion getting the last hit. Pasha in trouble himself.
Oh, he missed the first ball.
Yeah. Gets him with the second, though. Well, find Ilias as well on the Death Prophet. That may be, they need to get this kill. There's going to be a 2-man Ravage here. Magical trying to get some follow-up damage, but Pasha did not really have any kind of kill opportunity there. But Soulbind going to catch up both of them as well, and this is looking terrible for Na'Vi. Crystallite rotates in, needs to start regenning up. He's inside his Wukong's command, but he's getting so damn freaking low. Jirach is committed for this one. He's over-committed for this one. He dies in order to get the Monkey King kill, but his teammates will clean up. Old Afterlife gets another, and they're going to take out the Tidehunter to complete the team wipe as Tusk has respawned, gotten a revenge kill, Make Now die a second time, trying to get rid of the silence, gets caught by the Inkswell stun, a couple more right clicks with a Timber Chain.
He just spawned.
Whew. Triple kill for Afterlife.
So that's a 6-man wipe, I think, or something?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Tusk died twice.
Tusk died twice. So they got 6 kills for 2 right there. Fantastic trade. Ooh.
Team Spirit looking good here. They do lose Lycan, who is their most valuable and highest net worth hero, of course.
Sure, but you'll take that trade every single time.
Yep.
And you'll notice 2 things about that. Is like, one, they took a fight on Na'Vi's side of the map, which I think is really important at all times to do. And 2, now that the Ravage is down, like, you can do whatever you feel like.
Yeah.
And this is the problem with having these like high cooldown abilities against heroes like Lycan, is they could go into Roshan, they could go push out this tier 2 bottom. All the possibilities are endless right now.
Yeah, instantly you see Team Spirit have several heroes go right back to that Radiant jungle, knowing they're in a fairly safe position. We're going back at mid, has that Yule Scepter, but didn't want to commit for Slayer, but perhaps Timbersaw will. Forces out a Snowball. It's going to be on a creep though, so I think Old Afterlife thought the Snowball was coming towards him, but it was nicely placed on a creep. Nice Timber Chain, finds the perfect tree, tips Slayer on his way out. Could be in some trouble. He may have overcommitted. He may be regretting that tip fairly soon, but Immersion is there with the Rolling Thunder onto 2 heroes. Gets a third now as well. There's going to be a Lina rotation as well, and the tide getting very, very low. Luckily, there's a Sprout to block any kind of chase.
He will never regret the tip.
If he died there?
Yes. And he even got a bounty rune. Look at that.
Nice.
Dire's top tower
Well, looks like the 15-minute bounty rune is going to be claimed, 3 of which by Team Spirit. And they continue to play this fast-paced game. We'll be seeing Ravage coming back up fairly soon, which is what Na'Vi kind of have to play around.
This is what I meant by you don't want to play around long cooldowns against really short cooldown heroes. Is inherently you're just at their mercy. They're going to keep making plays around the map nonstop, while you sort of have to play this really defensive playstyle. They're going to get a kill here.
A solo Ravage onto Urgon's Lina. He's not dead yet. He's still got bottle charges.
Oh, he's okay.
Juking. Yeah, he's surviving currently. He's going to LSA through some trees, finds a way a little bit further into the jungle. Urgon still in some trouble. The Tidehunter's being stunned up again, though. Now the Silence come into play, and Urgon, he's just going to turn and fight. The Silence on the Tide, he can't get rid of it. The Phantom proven to be too much, and elsewhere, Ilias goes down as well to the Lycan. So, a disaster for Na'Vi, committing a Ravage.
And they thought it was going to be a solo kill on the Nature's Prophet. Might have died, but then they get the Ravage off, and all of a sudden everything changes. But again, you've wasted Ravage. This usually just means like another objective is going to get taken. He actually went back for the drums, really all-inning on this like mid-game.
I like this. I think we've seen this more and more. I know like Matu was doing this when he was playing his Brood. It's so much attack speed. When you activate, it's 55 attack speed. So when you have all these summons, it just kind of like overwhelms towers and enemy heroes.
Yeah, I think this Roshan is very free. This top
Ravage,
tower might get denied, something like that, but you don't have Ravage. I guess you do have Wukongs. I don't know if he knows for sure it's up or anything like that.
Crystallize, Mago jumping in to scout things out. Still some trees around the pit, but you've got to be careful when you're playing against the Timbersaw. You can cut them down. Crystallize going to bound the strike, but here comes the Rolling Thunder from
this is a great Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, he's completely kept them away from the pit while the rest of Team Spirit secure. Roshan gets a nice swashbuckle onto 3, but here comes the Wukong's command. If you're Spirit, you're just looking to disengage. They Culling Blade to help Emerging get out of the Sprout, but he still ends up going down. Laguna Blade on the backside catches out Pasha, so
they're gonna wait this out and go.
And yeah, they want to chase Urgon. He's going to be going in there. He's probably going to use something fairly soon as well. The X-Wall Sun is going to be more than enough to catch Magical, sets up the LSA, and Team Spirit with a 6k gold lead now have an Aegis advantage as well.
And they bottle another bounty rune. Dude, I think he actually like shoveled 2 bounty runes in like 3 digs or something like that. That's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick when you have the bottle too. Normally you think of like refilling that bottle, you need to find a power rune or a 5-minute bounty, but that shovel
allows his Lina to be really active on the map, and we're starting to see like why Grimstroke is also really good against Pops the Aegis.
Yeah. Lina, the shapeshift being used with the soul bind, and Team Spirit watch their like and die. That's an unfortunate misplay. You really don't want to get caught out there right after you just kind of won a fight and took Aegis.
Yeah, 100%. They didn't even have to use Ravage or anything like that in that engagement. All they have to do at this point is stick together and take fights as a group. But yeah, Grimstroke Phantom versus Tidehunter, it's one of like the few things that don't get dispelled.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He still physically has to hit it off, which I think is pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah. It's nice that there are those ways you can play
kills.
around Tide. It's starting to look that way. Emerging. Can't get the Rolling Thunder off immediately. Still finds a way to get it off. Oh. Awkward. Traps himself on the staircase.
Random ass staircase. They should really just be together right now and not feel like they have to make these like aggressive moves. Because all you're doing really is giving Na'Vi a chance back into this game.
Yeah. Well, you can see there, they built up a sizable net worth lead. Still sitting around 5k gold and a decent chunk of even bigger size of experience in the win chance, favoring Team Spirit here 19 minutes in. As we'll see what their next move is. Like you mentioned, it does feel like they need to just be sticking together. You've got an Aegis and you just lost 2 heroes back to back. Your character in your forward position unnecessarily. So they're going to smoke up. Here we go. Here's the team play we're looking for from Team Spirit. As 20-minute mark approaches, the outpost is going to be what they look to contest. Urgon runs in with the Yule Scepter. Sets up on the Tusk. Doesn't get the LSA because there's an interrupt. And here comes Na'Vi. They're going to take the Aegis for nothing. And Lina's trapped in the Wukong.
She's so out of position now.
What can she do here? They're going to shapeshift. Emergent wants to go with the Rolling Thunder, but Urgon may just die before he can use any spells here. There's going to throw in a Ravage, which catches out most of Team Spirit. The Lycan coming in with the shapeshift and gets caught by a clumsy net. They've lost the Wukong command, which means they've now lost the Monkey King as well. And Ravage being committed, so it looks like Na'Vi just out of gas here as they're in full retreat mode. Luckily for Spirit is they had enough threats here that even with the Lina down, the Lycan, the Timbersaw, able to clean up the fight as the TP out from Slayer not going to be interrupted. So they still win the fight, even if it wasn't convincing on the side of Team Spirit.
That Ravage was not that good though. He used it as pretty much everybody was fanned out, and Crystallize doesn't want to leave his ring. So it might have caught like 4 heroes, but they had no follow-up damage on it at all.
See it again here. It was a nice boundless strike to stop Urgon getting this.
I mean, Urgon
combo.
aggressively used his Yules in a 5 heroes.
Yeah. He just ran in unafraid. They even popped down that high ground ward. I'm not sure if he had that before he went in, but...
So he ravages right here. It doesn't stop the Pango at all, and it catches everybody on the outer edge of the ring, but no one gets caught in the ring itself. And this Pango ball was so smooth. Just kept hitting the Monkey King over and over again, and Crystallize just went down, and all of a sudden you have no damage at all to stop this.
And now they've used Ravage, and here comes Team Spirit. Straight down the mid lane, they take a tier 2 tower for free. They've got Timbersaw on the front lines tanking up with the reactive armor. They've got the Lycan summons. They're just going to go onto the tier 3 tower with Howl, with summons. That tier 3 tower just melted. Holy crap, that was fast. Lycan even with the Dragon Scale for some extra damage under these buildings. But what can Na'Vi do? They're respawning now. Team Spirit, no Aegis, and they've still got ultimates though. Shapeshift has come back up. There's the GG bet odds. Team Spirit favorite now for sure, and with that Tier 3 tower going down, you're going to imagine it's getting more and more in their favor. Magical working on a BKB on his Nature's Prophet. A very early Crystallis. This Lina, I feel like after the last fight, you'd be like, yeah, I need a BKB, which I guess is what Urgon's saying with it queued up now and not like turning that Crystallis into a Daedalus or anything just yet. But even going for a Crystallis seems very greedy on Lina.
Yeah, I thought the previous fight would have taught him like the only way that he dies is if he walks up hills and then just gets chain stunned.
Yeah.
But it's okay. He probably has enough time, I would imagine. There's like one more fight that Na'Vi can take. I mean, if Na'Vi messes up like one more fight in this kind of area, I think the game might rapidly just decline for them. They're going to lose 2 sets of racks minimum. Probably going to wait for the next Aegis if you're Team Spirit, or you wait for Na'Vi to commit the Ravage. And again, even if you take a bad fight, if it's on their side of the map, Na'Vi can't really get anything out of it. Their objective taking is... it's okay, but the speed at which they can get there with like the Death Prophet and the Monkey King and the Tide Hunter, if you take really aggressive fights on one side of the map, it's early enough game 2 where everyone will respawn in time, which I think is the most important thing.
Yep. So if you're Na'Vi, I mean, you mentioned they're gonna maybe see Monkey King going down. He went for this Desolate, doesn't have a good escape, and yeah, he's gonna get brought down. Are they looking to then instead take fights on the other side of the map, or do they just have to win like 5 fights to get back in this game because they're trapped on their side?
I think Na'Vi needs like 2 team wipes to be like okay to get it back to like 50-50.
So like get the most out of every Ravage they use kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. But we already talked about like how even the most ideal Ravages in this game, it doesn't really combo that well. The best ones you're gonna get is if everyone is standing under the Monkey ult, but as long as Team Spirit are like pretty good at not letting that happen.
Yeah.
That's literally your upside, is if you catch it on the outer ring, the problem is it forces you out. Like you have to leave the area, as they're going to see that Dyrachyo has popped his ulti. This is going to be pretty good for Na'Vi. Nothing was really lost. Immersion does take a tower by himself. Has to be careful here. Places a ward just in case.
Na'Vi, I think, understood that Magical was being hunted. He escaped and they weren't able to find anything up top, but feels like perhaps Team Spirit's also slowing things down to play around that second Aegis. And also their BKBs, because that's when they're suddenly no longer anywhere near as afraid of this Tide Hunter Ravage, which is the big X factor for Na'Vi's team fight and draft.
Once you get BKB on the Lina, you have 2 different heroes that don't get affected by the Ravage at all. You have the Pango. Immersion's been very good at using his ball beforehand. Yeah. I sometimes hate when Pangos do the really aggressive swashbuckle, and then they try to get it off in the middle of like literally every hero. Then they just die and they're like, surprise.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to be able to just channel that Rolling Thunder when there's stuns and things around you, necessarily.
They have so many things to cancel it. Boundless Strike, Tusk Snowball, Death Prophet Silence, Orchid, Ravage. Like, Immersion has been doing a really good job of making sure his ult gets off above everything else, and I think that's been really important for their team fight. And now they have a BKB. Afterlife probably doesn't care about getting Ravage, so you have like 3 heroes that don't really mind it too much.
Just the Lycan who's got one queued up now as well. Finish the AC first, so a lot of damage coming out here.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he's just going to Rolling Thunder. There's nothing you can do in response. Crystallizes in all sorts of trouble. Going for that greedy Deso build, but Urgon, he's lost his life. He's been blown up to start things off here. Coming in is the Lycan, the stun of the Tide Hunter. They're just going to ignore Pasha for now. He's going to throw out some anchor smashes to try and keep his teammates alive. Afterlife on the run with the Spirit Vessel on him. He's going to be a little bit careful. They've traded Monkey King for Lina. Monkey actually blasts back though, so I think if Team Spirit can get out, they're going to be okay with this one, but Roach has respawned, so we could see both teams gunning for that one. Pasha doesn't get hit by the Timber Chain as it misses. Still in very low health here. It's likely going to get the kill without the shapeshift. No problem for him. He's just getting melted as well and crystallized. He fought back. This is going to be a dive back from Monkey King. 4 dead. As Urgon tipping his buddy. It's not going to be the full team wipe as Nature's Prophet does TP out, just barely. But Team Spirit convincingly win this fight with Monkey King buyback.
Urgon's so greedy. He just walks up with 5 BKBs. And it's alright though, because Ravage was expended for it.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't care. It doesn't really affect his team at all. And this is going to mean a set of racks minimum. They can probably still go for Roshan after this too.
They may even go for bottom lane if there's no tier 2 tower there to protect the base, so...
Yeah, they know there's no Ravage, so even if the Tidehunter respawns, he does have buyback, but what's the point if the entire team is respawning anyways and your monkey had already used it?
And all the afterlife in these fights. 6-0-11, he is just going untouched, shredding through heroes. As all the attention has been on the Lina and the Lycan, it feels like he's had a very free game as a result. And he's just zoning Na'Vi away from any kind of a base defense. Still 15 seconds without the Monkey King, and it does look like Team Spirit are going to try and just secure this Rax here. They pop the Wolves in a howl. Urgon takes the range Rax here. They're keeping up the melee with the Sprout, but it gets broken by the LSA, and double Rax for Team Spirit. You mentioned it, one bad fight and they'll get 2 lanes, and that's exactly what they did, Will.
Yeah, so I saw when I was watching the draft, I was like, alright, so you have Lycan, he got picked pretty early, right? I think it was like 3rd pick or something like that. And then your counter to it is to pick like all cooldowns. You have Nature's Prophet, who's like the only non-team fighter in Dota as a core.
Oh, here comes Team Spirit. They're not giving Na'Vi a second to breathe, and when you're playing against the long cooldowns that you mentioned, this is the perfect way to play Dota. This Tide still doesn't have Ravage for another 7 seconds, and it feels like that last team fight was ages ago. Pasha just being zoned away, but here comes a Snowball, going to look to initiate.
It was okay for them.
They've got the Soulbind out though. The X's are from the Death Prop. This is a 5 position. They need to blow her up, but they're going to ignore her as Urgon takes out Slayer instead. They're going to avoid the Wukong demand. Pasha gets out forward. The Ravage, he finally had to come back up. Afterlife, he misses the Timber Chain out, but he's still so goddamn freaking tanky on the front lines, doing a lot of damage here. And with Urgon's Lina, him and Afterlife are just taking Na'Vi apart. They GG out. It's over. Urgon BKBs for putting the exclamation mark on this win. And too many long cooldowns for his Lycan. That seems to be what you think is the biggest problem here.
I think it's always going to be the biggest problem. I think Grant was actually pretty...
And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. can't conceal it. But deep down, I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me, for who I can't go back to. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. Oh, but I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh, baby. 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine thundering. Dream machine, racing queen, I'll take you wherever you wanna go. Let's blow this town, break the speed of sound. Tonight we all know racing. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat, you make my heart beat. Dream machine, racing queen, you make my heart beat.
Radiant team back.
And I'm like, wait a minute, we're being trolled by someone.
Well, he had played it probably. See the interview. Immersion, who is the Earth Spirit specialist, said, "You should just," or like, I think Earth Spirit mid's viable, and because he's level 25 on it, and so they just gave it to him. Or he told him, he gave him tips basically. They were talking, and he played a few pubs with the tips coming from Immersion, and then suddenly he looked like a god on Earth Spirit. So I really do think that alone is proof that if you're mechanically skilled, that Dota is almost all conceptual in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, you have to push your buttons correct. Yes, you have to like practice.
10
But
seconds remaining.
if you just know what your hero's supposed to do in the game,
Radiant
it's
team pick.
probably 10 times more important than anything else. That's really my opinion on it, because if you know what buttons you're supposed to push and why, you're just gonna push your buttons better. That's just how it is. But are we gonna see the Mars or the Axe here? Clockworks is a deny pick to both, 100% by the way.
Does so hookshot gets blocked by arena, or no?
No.
Okay.
No, you go through the wall, but then you get bumped by the shield push.
Okay.
And so that prevents you from going all the way to the target that you hook to.
Gotcha.
5 seconds.
Oh, so you end up
remaining.
inside the arena and you
Yeah.
stun them. Like,
So your
the hook stuns
your
them.
hook technically stuns
Yeah,
them, so
yeah.
you don't need to actually hit them with your body to stun them.
But then you get hit by the arena, so you're in the arena, but you're getting hurt, but you did do your job. Okay. I think Mars then. We have been seeing more axe, but I feel like Clockwork Grimstroke against an axe especially is real hard.
There's also some awkward points where
Swerve.
that is a weird way to protect the egg.
It's a way, but yeah, it's a weird way. You're right.
They heard Grant say that they suck, so they said, okay,
Yeah,
they are picking Pugna.
that was me. Why?
I don't even know because it's not even good
not-
versus Clockwork.
Like Clockwork just
It's not fair stroke really.
that was a confusing pick, I guess. Because there's only one ban, obviously, so if there is like a set strategy they're going for and the hero's not already banned, they're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, it has to combo with something if they're going to pick it when it isn't particularly great versus what is seen.
So what are good Pugna combos? Pugna Grimstroke is
Yeah,
one of
Pugna
them.
Grimstroke is great. They can really look to pick that up in this. Oh. Coddle's also really good, and that's banned. I don't know, man, honestly.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, they need some serious, like, Na'Vi definitely need ways to force fights because they have both the ward as well as the supernova, right? They very clearly want to fight in a specific area.
So they need to get heroes that enable doing that.
Hear me out. What if that was meant to be a puck?
A Pugna?
Yeah, I'm saying like they misclicked.
Yeah, no, that was clever by me, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I thought so.
I just...
Do you, I mean, nah, there's... You still don't really want to pick Puck into Clockwork Grimstroke, do you? I mean, there's not a lot of heroes you want to pick into that duo, I guess, to be fair.
I think Puck would be fine to pick into those two. No instant disable, really.
Void Pugna?
I love the Weaver pick here. That is super strong. We've been seeing it against Phoenix. The double attack is really nice, and also the fact that Weaver is just good against heroes with no stuns. And
there you go.
Phoenix Egg is not what I would consider a stun in this case. Super good versus Pugna as well. One of the few heroes have laned against Pugna can also CS still. So since they have overall last pick from Team Spirit, they'll be able to know where this Void Spirit and as well as the Pugna are laning and put the Weaver accordingly. They can put it as a 4, they can put it as a 3, they can put it as a 1, and it's probably a 3 or a 1. Probably a 1.
I think this Pugna's a 5. Pretty.
You think so?
Looking at their draft now, and they take the Void Spirit. I think it's a Pugna 5.
If it's Pugna 5, I hope they take their mid on Team Spirit. I think this Void Spirit was also a mistake because I think Team Spirit's almost certainly going to take their mid laner here, and so they can have a flex 3-1 on the last pick. And you revealed the matchup.
Yeah.
So, or I guess you didn't technically. You said it's Pugna
Void
5.
Spirit. We've seen Void Spirit in all 3 lanes and Pugna.
As I said, they're gonna pick their mid lane Jug. So now we have to see what they pick for the carry last pick.
A hero that can kind of just ignore a lot of what Pugna does in a team fight and
against
go
Phoenix,
straight
too.
for the egg.
Yeah.
Maybe the Pugna decrep to protect the egg was the play.
That's what we were talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's still like
that's a weird way to protect the egg.
it's just very
Well,
strange.
if you have the talent, I believe it makes your decrep 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
plus, yeah.
the cooldown's 4 seconds. So theoretically, you could have 25% uptime on 2 people being decrept.
True, but now you're against a Juggernaut who takes off decrep.
How?
Spin doesn't take it off.
Radiant team.
You just can't apply it to it. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if he's attacking it and then you put it on and you spin, I swear to God. Well, BSJ, after your predictions, I don't know what's trolling and what's not.
That's a good point.
There's the axe. They finally get it. I actually, BSJ, you crazy.
Okay, so Void Spirit or Pugna support, which one?
I think it's Pugna.
They could still toss up in the air potentially? Like maybe they don't even know?
I feel they know, but it's a
And they'll let us know when they know, you know?
Yeah.
Is I know. Maybe it is a 5 Phoenix. We have seen a 5 Phoenix a few times, and then you can put the Void Spirit 4. That's fine, I guess.
Decrep into Aether Remnant. That sounds like a meh combo to me.
I do say the Axe got way better, right? Because you already wanted to protect the Phoenix Egg, and now you do have a call through the Juggernaut spin, which is nice. So I think Axe is definitely way better than Mars, and I'm glad they got it.
Definitely go for the mid jug here.
I remember when that was a thing for a while. When you could buy Poor Man's Shield, people were doing that a ton. It was Juggernaut and PL, right? When they had the Poor Man's Shield, and like you just couldn't beat them.
Fixes this lineup.
It's probably mid algo there.
It's possible, right? Like, I don't love Juggernaut versus Axe.
It really is less than 0 or more than 0% chance to be a jug mid, but it's probably not.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Mining pick that finally makes us realize why their Enix
They need a blue hero.
Opener.
They have all the color rainbows picked up right now. I think this might be the first time I've seen this, now that I'm thinking about it. We have an orange, a green, a purple, and a red.
That's why they banned Morphling on the side of Spirit.
That is
green.
Kind of not blue.
It was Na'Vi. Should have seen that coming.
It's like a snake woman who they kind of like. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't either, but I know where Navi's going with this. Medusa, we've already seen it plenty of times for them. A good carry for them in combos with the Supernova Phoenix. That's a good way to protect the 8. They've got 2 heroes to do so.
God, it's going to be such a fast-paced game.
Dude, isn't it another good Batrider game? And you just go like 1 jug or 1 Weaver, 2 jug.
I think the Batrider is even better this game than it was last game.
Like, all I'm saying is if you can pick some hero that just runs at them, okay, well that runs at them.
Dude, that
jug?
They've got a bunch of Diffusal Blade heroes, that's for sure.
It's not mid-jug.
I mean, they could still send him, but I haven't seen. Dude, I don't know. This is a. Who can Navi's quell the tide here? That's the
so
question.
It is 5 position Pugna.
I thought so. I saw him play once.
Ilias just plays weird ass 5s.
He does. That's why I was like, I think it might be him because he just. I think Team Spirit. I believe they should take this game, and I actually think it should be around the same time, 25 to 30 minutes. But we've seen Medusas, and if you're scared to push, that's the thing. If Team Spirit doesn't have the mindset of, yo, we actually do have a timer, we need to push. It doesn't matter if we get megas, we need to end the game versus a Medusa, and then you get to that 50-50, I got a rapier. Be careful, but I think Spirit, once again, 25-30 minutes, they look clean.
Today, he's a modest person. He covered up his axe.
He did.
He's got the naked axe, but he got the blacksmith cloak that goes in front.
All I can say is that I made my prediction at the start of the draft, and I'm glad I did, because it's another really wonky one coming out from Na'Vi. And it also a bit of Team Spirit drafts a little odd too, but I like it better still, so I'm glad I stuck with it in conviction, and I'm sorry for making you lose game 2, Team Spirit.
Can Na'Vi prove all the haters wrong? Can they prove Grant wrong? Can they prove BSJ wrong?
Probably.
Guess we'll have to see going into game 2. Yeah, let's hope something happens.
The last 6 years or so, it feels like for Na'Vi, it's always about proving the critics wrong, proving the haters wrong. This team has been on this kind of up and down roller coaster of mixed results since their kind of TI2, TI3 glory days, or TI1 of course as well. And here they are. As far as ESL 1 Los Angeles goes, it's do or die for them. They lost game 1. A series loss here pretty much eliminates them. They're still favored, so the fans still believe Will, even though the panel do not.
Dude, they have like the most ravenous fans of all time.
Yep.
I remember at ESL about like 2 years ago or something, I called them mediocre, and that was when they had Roger, and then they ended up beating EG, and I got like 1,000 messages or more. It was something insane.
I remember that event. That was like Genting, yeah.
Yeah, I just got spammed non-stop, and then they ended up losing the event like pretty badly after, and then they finished and like they didn't finish, they didn't make it to TI or anything.
Yep.
And I didn't feel vindicated at all. I just felt bad because I do want Na'Vi to do well.
Yes. Sometimes it is our job to, you know, predict winners and losers and critically assess teams. And for Na'Vi, they have those moments of brilliance where they will get a big upset, beat a team like EG, but more often than not, we've seen them somewhat disappoint. So
yeah,
consistency has been a problem.
It almost feels like when the stakes are like higher, they start to shrink. And I don't know what it is. It's like there used to be that magic about them. You know, when there was like the full squad, the boys, Dendi, Kuro, Puppy, you would just always feel like they would pull out wins out of nowhere. And now it just feels like when it matters most, they just can't get those W's.
That's always like the teams when they're on the top is when it feels like they win games, it feels like they shouldn't win. And then, of course, win all the games you know they should win. So
yeah,
those amazing Tier 1 teams find ways to pull magic.
And Team Spirit, though, ever since they lost ILTW, that feels like a split that has worked for both sides.
Yeah.
Like, ILTW is doing very well for himself on VP. And who did they replace him with? Duraccio, yeah. Has been doing really well for this team, too. It feels like he's almost enabling Urgon's playstyle. He's very stable carry, and Urgon's a very, the best way to put it is he just kind of does stuff and YOLOs in and doesn't really care about his life. Sometimes he'll BKB, sometimes he won't. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag.
Oh, they got 4. This time they got 4. The reverse sweep.
It did not work for Na'Vi last game. They got 4 bounty runes, Will, and lost the game. This time around, Team Spirit will get 4 bounty runes.
Be real here, dude.
What's immersion? He's pulling. What's going on? Immersion. Those aren't your creeps.
He knows about the ward though. That's pretty cool. So I don't know if this was on purpose. I can't imagine it was. He doesn't even get the last hit. But he does know about that ward now because for people that don't know, if the creeps follow you up that hill, why would they follow you up the hill if they don't see vision of you?
Yeah, they're meant to lose aggro when you go up a ramp.
So now you have 100% guarantee that there's a ward up there. There's no other reason that they would have seen you, which I think is pretty cool.
That's gold for Monkey King. That's some XP for Monkey King when you get that D ward because he'll probably be ferrying out a sentry or having a teammate buy the sentry for him. How do you, I mean, Monkey King versus Medusa, this mid matchup, do you favor either hero in this matchup? So far, Urgon almost perfect CS for the first wave or two.
I would imagine that this lane is fine for Dusa, and in fact is Dusa favored, because I think you just get clicked. And this is kind of a problem that Monkey King has in these matchups, where you can't really fight back. And Monkey King especially struggles with lanes that push into him, because he doesn't then get to just hit you under a creep wave. Like, Monkey King actually doesn't trade well under creep waves, in fact. That's why, like, DK is level 3 with, like, 2 levels of Dragon Blood. If they're fighting under, it doesn't actually hurt him that bad. It's also why the Monkey King versus, like, Timbersaw matchup isn't as awful.
Oh, Slayer getting very low in this bottom lane on the Phoenix. There's Duracha. We'll get rid of the Battle Hunger with that last hit. He's getting constantly harassed. This Phoenix Slayer, 1 or 2 more right clicks. Misha will not get the kill, but does threaten Phoenix's life while his own life gets brought down fairly low. Has got the headdress on the Radiant side. Back at mid, 11-6. Urgon is having a hell of a start here, getting really good trades and just securing most of these last hits.
And something we should bring up too, the panel, like they keep talking about the weird 5 positions that Ilias is forced to play.
Yeah. Are you into 5 position Pugna?
Surprisingly, guys, I am not.
Okay.
But I could see some value in it. In a way, it's a free save, right?
The decrep.
Yeah, the decrep. And we're going to get a magical safe lane Void Spirit because he wanted to avoid the Monkey King matchup.
Yep. It does feel like from your 5 position, you normally want like either, you know, a stun or a save or some kind of utility. And we'll have to see how good of a save that decrep can be because...
I want to save so bad. I want to stun here, actually. There's not a whole lot of stuns.
Yeah, Pugna ain't giving you that well, I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you. Get some Meteor Hammer action. But yeah, not, I mean, Pugna Phoenix support duo. That sounds
sick.
Sus. Yeah, okay. That's one way to put it.
Dude, look at this. They're going to get a kill because of it.
Yeah, Immersion does get back to safety. Whoa, that Nether Blast is going to clip old Afterlife.
Do you think if they had a stun, they would have gone to kill there?
Hell no. They had damage. You don't get kills without damage, and that's what Pugna's bringing to the table.
Oh. Okay. Back. That's a dive. You got to be careful now. How much damage is level 1 blast? It's like 100 or something? It's pretty efficient, isn't it? Yeah, it's 100. Easy.
Oh, what's that courier? Erosion's coming in with his boots. The Phoenix Axe lane we've seen a bit. Axe, of course, really good at protecting the Phoenix Egg in the mid game, and this dual lane with Battle Hunger plus Fire Spirit spam, very annoying and strong, although Jug does have some sustain from Blade Fury, some magic immunity from Blade Fury and sustain from the Healing Ward. He's going to go in with the Inkswell. This is a kill lane of their own. The Inkswell's done with the Blade Fury.
Oh no, magical die.
Asha, yeah, ooh, okay, not what you're hoping for. It's Immersion having the last laugh. As Duracha needs to get back to safety. Gets rid of the Battle Hunger.
Surprised he didn't go for the Healing Ward, by the way, considering how much they've been...
He just came up top there.
Look at this, though. The decrep. It's pretty much a stun.
He's managed to get up the Jingu stacks anyways, and Crystallize is melting.
Oh no, pretty much a stun is not a stun. Let me just... You know, you can correct me on that.
You slow them so much that they're kept in place.
I mean, he couldn't hit.
Yep. He wasn't hitting. He was moving very slowly. And when you're stunned, you're not moving and you're not hitting.
You're not hitting, exactly.
It sounds like decrep is a stun to me, you know? When you describe it like that.
Oh god, I wish they had literally any other 5.
Oh, he gets the rune as well. Yeah, this 5 position probably go far, and Immersion's being able to roam around the map because of how well this game is going.
This game has gone very poorly, to say the least. Magicals died once, Crystallize died twice now, and they're just getting kind of crushed in all their lanes. I guess the Axe is doing okay, but okay means that he has 16 CS and hasn't...
And he just died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's feeling too okay anymore after that death.
Oh, hi, Ergon.
Yeah, Magical gets the Remnant pull. One more right click will give him the regen. Will he use the Boundless Strike? He's trying so hard to get
He might be dead here.
Yeah. The Decrypt, he turns, gets the Jingu stacks here, but he's still in trouble. Can look to turn and right click, but won't get any. Oh, so no heals for you. He needed that Jingu before the Boundless Strike and couldn't get it.
But I think he also realized he wasn't going to get the hit because of the Fire Spirits.
Yep.
And they found Medusa. I don't know if this is going to necessarily be a kill. She's out of mana now. Has to be careful.
Even if you don't the kill, you've made her life very difficult in this top lane.
That's what I mean about Ergon, man. Sometimes
he wants to die.
You gotta do it for the bros. Yeah. You know, his team is like, Ergon, you can just chill. We're winning really hard. And he's like, sorry, but I gotta go.
Should not his teammates be the bros? You know, if you're doing it for the bros.
Yeah. His teammates understand.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah, they're
on the same page. Yeah. All right, that makes more sense. And Crystallize is just like, there's 3 heroes up here. Why am I up here if there's 3 heroes contesting my lane? What's going on elsewhere? There are some stacks being made. That's going to be key this game for Na'Vi to get back, is stack jungle, Medusa farm stacks. But Team Spirit, well aware of this, are going to catch these stacks. They don't prevent the stacks, but they do stun them. Find Alias.
Oh no.
And can Team Spirit steal these stacks?
Yes,
Looks like
they can.
Ergon thinks, hell yes, he can.
Easily.
Boundless Strike.
They have to come defend this.
Yeah, we're going to find out if they can. He finds the broom handle as well. That's more damage and some armor. Immersion blocks with the cogs. And Slayer unable to get in time. They've taken the triple stack of the medium camp. There's still the big camp stack, though, and Na'Vi will de-ward as well. So Medusa going to get to work on this one.
She really did not want to share this XP like this.
Yeah, and this is 2 cores farming a stack. That's not ideal for Na'Vi. Even if they're securing it, it's costing them so much.
Yeah, and they lost the medium stack, which is pretty brutal. Plus a kill, and most likely a tier 1 tower for free. Everything is going the way of Team Spirit right now. I would say that Magical is still having an okay game because of that kill on the Monkey King. And he's going to block. Immersion is just being so annoying right now. I'll say that's like really good of them to do.
Yep. Got the Iron Talon, which is the ideal item to have, but meanwhile, his teammates are playing outnumbered as Team Spirit get a easy 3v1 kill on Pasha. These Spirit supports are just roaming all over the map because all lanes being won and your cores not needing help means you can just hunt kills relentlessly, and I think they understand that Medusa in the jungle is going to be one of those big kills to try and find. Here they come. Outpost could be contested here. They're just going to hard commit to steal the outpost, but at what price? Because here comes immersion on the clockwork. There's going to be a dive out, as it does look like.
Shouldn't they go back for the outpost? Oh, they don't have enough time now.
Yeah. And that's a double outpost for Dire.
Wow, okay, so they get something.
Not bad, some XP, and it looks like Bounty Rune's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in Spirit's favor. So gold going Spirit's way, some XP going Navi's way.
And Duraccio thought about taking the creeps here. In fact, he's moved towards mid. I really like this maneuver. They've got a catapult wave coming in. They want to put pressure on the Dusa lineup. They know that Dusa's just AFK farming creeps. Yeah. Take advantage of this time. Magical's not strong enough to stop this at all. In fact, none of their heroes are. This is the downside of having like so many weird heroes, I'd say.
Feels like you should be able to take all the tier 1 towers on the map with relative ease if you're Spirit right now.
Yes.
Maybe even start thinking about some tier 2s.
Under attack.
Invis on Magical. What can he set up? He just... I'm going to run him with the Inkswell. Gets...
He got the kill on top of that too.
Denies the Netherward in front of him. That's a psychological victory for Na'Vi.
Exactly. These things add up, man.
Yeah. Well, at least we've got meme kill scores, Will. You know, there's not much to get excited about if you're a Na'Vi fan, but it's 7-1. 7-1. It's like the, you know, the Brazil soccer score when they lost in the World Cup. It was 7-1.
They got 7-1?
Yeah, they got 7-1 in like a World Cup semi-final, I think it was, by Germany. 7-1, like you know, 420 is a meme, 322 is a meme, 7-1 is the other. That's how are you a Dota viewer when you don't know that the 7-1 meme?
Brazil versus Germany.
It was 7-1. Yeah. I think it was the semifinals, right?
Isn't Germany like OP too?
I mean, Brazil is OP. That's why it was a meme.
Evoking a previous spirit of national shame. Jeez. What a way to put it. All right, yeah. Well, you learn something new every day.
Because, you know, like a Dota game, if teams are even, you can have one-sided games because it's a snowball game. It's, you know, soccer is not a snowballer game. Somebody's up 1 or 2-0. The game is still on even footing. You don't hunger because you're ahead 2-0.
I like that you're calling it soccer for me. Immersion might just die for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a freebie.
The overextension, they're going to get a second kill as well, and
Jug is stuck.
Yeah, the Jug's a big kill.
That's another kill.
Pasha with the double dunk. He's looking for more. He's
trying to be dead too. Yes, he is. They've got the catch on him.
Wow, Na'Vi.
They've thrown pretty hard here. What was that? They tried to contest the ancient stack. I'm not really sure why they felt the need to do that, especially in the manner in which they did it, which is running 1 by 1 up a cliff into 5 heroes. At some point, you know that Na'Vi are going to defend, and that was like the perfect timing for them.
Well, Na'Vi were ready, and they struck Pasha. He's come online now. We'll take another look at it.
All right, so the clock going in here, I'm kind of okay with this. If he dies, whatever. But then you can see how far everybody else is.
Yes.
Like Ergon TPs to the outpost, they've already lost immersion. Then Dusa pops. This is perfect, by the way. The Dusa pops the ulti during his spin, so he can't stop himself. Then he gets stoned up, dies. The decrypt just in case. Ergon can't hop back on the trees because of the Phoenix egg. He gets chased down. Like, I did not understand why they felt the need to make this play, especially in the way that they made it.
For Na'Vi, signs of life as 7-1 becomes 7-5 with a big team fight victory, and Spirit are going to have to think carefully about their next moves because they just fed a lot of gold away to a Medusa draft, and suddenly Axe has a Blink Dagger now as well. They did all of that just with Axe running in with some phase boots, so these fights get easier for Na'Vi as they acquire these items. As for Old Afterlife, he's been keeping himself in this top lane. Ag Scepter queued up. He's going to be the save for Team Spirit. We've seen Weaver in all kinds of roles. This one getting his farm priority. Being caught out, Remnant to follow it up.
It's another kill.
Yep.
And they're still doing pretty well. They have 2 of the 3 highest net worth cores, and Weaver's not far behind. But the Dusa is caught up in a huge way, considering how bad Crystallize's start was. She got rotated on twice, and it's the ancient stack that they made for her, but it's also the amount of kills that they just sort of fed away.
How well does Spirit's draft like deal with a farm Medusa, since it feels like we're headed into that farm Medusa territory?
The funny thing is, I think they have a ton of protection for her. Like, they have good ways to kill her, but the Pugna Decrep is not just a meat.
Initiate in, hook shot. Weavers rotate off the top lane, but their Stone Gaze coming out probably means this kill won't happen. The life drain, the Cogs, Crystallize pushes himself out of the Cogs, is in all sorts of trouble because of it. Can they kill off this egg? It looks like with the blink call, they're going to have to disengage with the Battle Hunter. He should be going down here. The Weaver has time lapse, but the call is there. He cannot, no, he cannot. The Wukong's going to catch out all 3 of Na'Vi inside. Luckily, there's a remnant to pull him away. The Boundless Strike will finish off the Phoenix, and the Blade Fury will finish off the Ilias Pugna. Really nice play from Team Spirit there, even though they did lose their Weaver, only narrowly unable to get off the time lapse.
If for some reason they could have healing warded him or he survives there, and that's such a good trade.
Yeah.
But even still, really good trade. They pick up
Under attack.
the Dusa kill, which I think is pretty important. All right, that's 70 gold each just fed, man. Come on. There's about to be an Ags on the Void Spirit, and their team fight gets better from here on out.
Yeah.
That's a really good item against pretty much everybody on the side of Team Spirit right now.
Are they going to have to itemize for that silence, find ways to get rid of it, or what's...
Yeah, it's just going to come out too late, though, because the Weaver will have to probably go for something like a Lotus Orb, and he's not even close to his Ags yet. Like, he's still 1 full piece away. So by the time there's an Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit, and he's got 2 jumps to get to that backline, it's going to be, I feel, a little bit too late. Like, they're going to get Ags at the same time, but Void Spirit's Ags will counter the Weaver Ags, and it'll cost him, like, an additional minimum, like, if he wants to get Yules, I guess, but even that's a pretty costly item.
Just being scouted by the ward. The blink call is there, and he gets sniped. He did take out the creep wave, though. Perhaps Na'Vi revealing the fact they put a ward there with that blink call. Yeah, we're going to see that Void Spirit Aghanim Scepter very soon. How are you feeling about 5 position Pugna now? Any change of heart?
I mean, it's actually kind of looking okay for this game, because there's 2 physical damage dealing cores on the other side. I still would feel as though like having a stunner save would be more helpful in lanes, but I think I was memeing it too hard. It actually sort of looks okay-ish. I'm not saying it's good.
Yes.
But I'm just saying I underrated it.
It's having an impact on this game.
Yeah, I can feel that he's doing stuff.
Well, Roshan being attempted by Spirit. The Weaver Bug lowering the armor of Roche. They've got Diffusal, Yasha on Jug, so that mana burn going to be annoying. Make Medusa's life that little bit harder.
Smoke.
Yeah, they smoked it. Team fight with the egg here. If they can get the egg off, they're going to completely guess wrong. The Healing Ward was still in the pit. So the Na'Vi get baited by Team Spirit to come and contest a non-existent Roche. The egg goes down. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be hitting it. So I think the plan is just to disengage as Clockwork does go down, but they've committed ultimates for this one. Team Spirit being chased here as the X-Wall stun going to be coming out in just a second. Durachio's going to be careful in the Juggernaut.
That silence from Magical, it's so deadly right now. It's out of mana.
Getting the clarities in.
Free mana.
All right. Ilias, not just a health bot, not just a decrypt, but also a mana bot.
Yeah.
Blade call. Gets the Blade Fury off right before the call comes in. The Wukong's command as well. Axe and Medusa caught on top of this one. Crystallized through the Stone Gaze out as he's going to completely whip the Omni Slash.
That's okay though.
Yep, they may secure Roshan up for this one. Buyback from the Axe. They want to take this fight. They want to contest. They don't want to give the Team Spirit for free. Urgon goes leaping in with the Monkey King. The Jug is in with the Blade Fury. They've got to be careful. The Sunray doing some good damage. Nice time-lapse save. I believe that was Old Afterlife with the Axe Scepter. And Immersion, he's committed hard. He pulled back for this one. He's going to find the Phoenix and then hook himself out, catch the Medusa. Immersion.
The silence in the back.
Yeah. Magical's just on top. He's looking for more. He finds 2 and instantly Na'Vi find themselves with 3 Radiant heroes dead, and they may be themselves one in the Roshan pit. This early Axe Scepter on Void Spirit.
It's doing so much work.
Yep.
And they know that he's up there.
They got him with the call as he was leaping down. They the silent. He's taken out Ilias. The Boundless Strike not going to work against this Dream Care. Ergon needs to find a way to lifesteal. He gets Aghanim Scepter by the Weaver. He's still alive. This Axe Weaver saving people's lives, and it's buying time for these respawns.
Everyone's out of mana. Crystallize is quite low too.
Magical can't do much without his mana here though. He's hoping for a rune, I believe. It's going to spawn bottom, unfortunately for him. It's a haste rune. As both teams really want this Roche. Double Diffusal and Radiance, making this Medusa's life a little bit difficult, but without the BKBs.
Did you see that, by the way?
No.
He was proccing the channel without actually having to go on it. That was weird.
On the
dive.
Okay. Huh.
I didn't know that it worked like that. So he like touched it, and technically he's still channeling it, right? Because the dive still happens and the channel of that's how it looked anyways. That was really weird.
Well, Na'Vi, despite a pretty good fight, just don't have anything left in the tank at the end of it to contest Spirit as they respawn and secure Roshan.
That was really well done by Spirit, both the Weaver and the Monkey King. It wasn't even about killing anybody, it's just about extending and delaying as much as possible. It's about getting that mana out.
And that Blade Fury was so quick-fingered by Duraccio.
And it hits a bunch of illusions.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. The Omni Slash couldn't follow the Medusa, but we'll see here. Magical, he just goes charging forward, using that silence to great effect. Does get leashed to the Pugna, but his Void Spirit being kept alive, and they do, you know, you think in the Blade Fury they'd have a better egg hitter, but the Phoenix Slayer just positioned his egg so well in these fights.
And you can see Magical right here with the jump.
Yeah.
The silence was so good. Pasha with no hesitation at all on the double dunk.
It's a very even game here. 13 kills to 14. Only a 2k gold lead. Radiant with the Aegis though, so Team Spirit maybe going to feel like they can still make some plays here and not just settle for a Medusa to slow this game down and farm. And this Axe Weaver going to give them a nice save for their frontline cores. Bottom lane, gotta be careful. This Axe has a blink call. Goes on the Grimstroke instead. Grimstroke just making sure he can save the Jug there. Misha throwing away his life for the greater good.
Kind of feel like Misha knew he was going to die there, like even before the call. They're pushed in pretty deep. Got like any tier 1 support. Oh, wow, nice hook.
Yeah,
he saw the Void Spirit coming, and he's like, this is not looking good for me. He's got a silence, and I've got an Arcane Rune, so I may as well use Hookshot. It had like a 40-second cooldown. You can see the odds there. It's almost dead even. Navi slightly favored, but both teams under 2.
I think that's actually pretty accurate. I think I would very slightly favor Navi right now. I think before the Ancient play where they all sort of suicided, I would have said that Spirit are in like best position ever against the Deucer draft. And since then, things have definitely swung around. Like, they're going to need to buy nullifiers on the side of Team Spirit to deal with the Deucer getting decrept during Monkey King ult or Juggernaut ulti. Like, there's too much overlap in their physical abilities.
It also stops things like Force Staff now, which Pugna has, so Nullifier looks super value this game. An item we rarely see, but situationally is amazing.
Like, I don't even know how useful BKB is against Navi's lineup. I would consider just going like Satanic or something for the status resistance against the Axe plus the silence.
That's usually the item we see a lot against Axe, like you say. The Jug and Axe matchup, it just keeps you alive.
Yeah. And like most of their magic spells or whatever for go through BKB. Like the Axe Call and the Phoenix Egg and stuff like that. And yeah, exactly. It's just a lot of physical damage that you have to deal with too. Yep.
Tier 2 tower top, and it looks like Jug meant to start flying on the courier, so he's gonna hit a nice little power spike himself as he completes that one, and a double damage rune has spawned. So we'll see if Na'Vi able to fight.
Lotus? No, he's in fact just gonna go for
Solar Crest on the Weaver, you mean?
I forgot what it was called. I haven't seen Medallion picked up in such a long time.
I guess he's just going to rely on his positioning and playing really far back because...
I feel like that's so risky though. Magical's jump is really quick. Like, if he sees a low enemy target, I think instead of trying to finish him off with the rest of the team, you just come behind Team Spirit's lineup and just try to get the silence off on the Weaver, and then the fight's done. They do need a high ground hitter against this Dusa. I sort of feel like this is going to be one of those like long games because Spirit can't really breach high ground unless they find Na'Vi in a really peculiar place.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Both
attack.
teams watching the game slow down. It's going to be Spirit trying to control some of these bounty runes here at the 25-minute mark. As Duraccio gets to work on another tier 2 outer tower, but Na'Vi full control of this bottom side of the map, avoiding Team Spirit for now, not looking to find any edges, and now with a BKB up on Monkey King, you definitely don't want to fight into them. For me, the scary thought is, like, I don't feel like necessarily late game Medusa is going to be able to out-carry a Jug plus Monkey King. Like,
sure,
Medusa kind of sits there and you're going to be sitting inside of Wukong's command.
But I think if they mess up in the mid game, they could just lose.
Yeah.
They have a lot of heroes that have to... I think Spirit's lineup, the thing that kind of sucks about it is that they have to hard commit bodies. Even their initiation, it's like you got to jump down from the trees or Clockwork hooks in. And hard committing against a lineup that features a Phoenix always feels really awkward for me.
It's a lot of pressure on the Weaver to use his time lapse perfectly.
Which is why I thought he would decide to go for the Lotus Orb, because I feel like they need something to be able to disengage.
He's kind of the save, so why not have save people the time lapse and the Lotus Orb, or saved in different ways?
It's pretty good too, because it forces like the counter to crap. It helps out your team deal with like the Dusa Snake.
Yep. The Solar Crest, I mean, this is something you can obviously buff up your carries. You can use it offensively on Medusa to limit her damage. It feels like a very good item as well, just perhaps not quite as, you know, maybe well-rounded as the Lotus Orb.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the next fight looks like.
Pushes his carries over the edge in these fights, like a Monkey King or a Jug with Solar Crest buff on them with the extra attack speed could just destroy it. Plus, good at killing the egg, the extra attack speed, so...
Is anybody going, whatchamacallit, by the way? Nullifier?
I don't believe I'd seen anyone queue it up. Not on the Monkey. Jug has the Abyssal queued up, so...
Okay.
More standard build.
Do it with flair.
Here come Na'Vi. Smoked up. Pasha.
Pretty big fight opportunity.
Duracio's off to the side. They lose Misha elsewhere. Magical, I believe, just solo killing him. He was down in the bottom river. They're chasing for more. Old Afterlife on the run. Gets him with the silence.
He's really fast.
Yeah. Looks like he should be okay here. There's going to be a Courier Snipe and just the Misha support. So Team Spirit, you know, Misha doing his job often in those 5 positions. You take a smoke gank and you don't mind that too much. Medusa, Butterfly online, taking a tier 1 mid tower. Na'Vi probably feeling pretty strong when they can fight around this Medusa. They have such good ways to protect the egg. It's the Axe and the Stone Gaze of the Medusa. 2 amazing spells in Call and Stone Gaze to keep the egg alive, so...
Yeah, Spirit's draft, for all we talked about, like, Na'Vi not having, like, a 5-position stun, their supports don't really have hard stuns either for this Void Spirit. That's why we're seeing Magical have such a free game. Like, he's sort of just going around wherever he feels like into the back line, and he doesn't even really need the Astral Step to get out. The Simulate seems like it's enough, too. There's one time he got linked when he didn't have the Yules, and they were trying to chase for him, but again, like, the lack of stuns really hurts them. Inkswell is not ideal against a hero that has so many different jumps that can get away from it.
Yeah, and we've seen a few teams use this like Clockwork Grim combo, and when you can perfectly time the Inkswell after a hook shot.
Oh, look at this. Will he...
Oh, nice time lapse save.
Will he die for this though, is the question.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the lack of stuns. It's going to be tested here. Can they bring down Magical? Another silence coming out on the Clockwork. The Yule Scepter used as well. Duraccio really wants to chase this one. He pulls him off the tree as well. Oh god. Does hit him with the Boundless Strike, and they will pay.
Finally, I would have felt
pay.
really sad if Magical somehow got out of that position.
Yeah.
I mean, that was blatant disrespect. The entire team's there. He's like, I don't care. I'll try it anyways.
Not respecting the Weaver Ag save.
They know that Pasha's here. They're gonna push him into the sentry.
The sentry expired.
Oh no, the timing! The timing of that!
The funny thing is, I think he thinks he probably ran out of sentry range maybe. And
he was about to call.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Pasha was about to use his call because he's like, ah, well, they see me on both sides. And in fact, they only saw him on the right side, like on the higher end of the cliff.
Yep.
If they had allowed him to run, obviously they couldn't have known that their sentry was about to expire. Immersion thought he was doing like some next level play, and Pasha, you saw him do that, and then they paused them midair. That's pretty funny.
Fortunate sequence of events for the Axe, and finds a courier and maybe even a second courier that's going to be flying overhead. Doesn't find the courier, but needs to be careful not to get found here as Immersion is nearby.
That's pretty insane that he just lived.
And he's still just no teammates nearby. He's just running through the enemy jungle.
He lived and he got them like 220 gold or something.
Yep. 30-minute mark, outpost coming up. It doesn't look like Spirit have any interest in taking a team fight around the dire outpost. Roche has respawned, and this is probably where we're going to be seeing the next big standoff. It was a big point of contention last time around, and no different here. Good old spider legs clockwork.
A golden thread.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And Medusa hits level 20, gets that Stone Gaze duration, so even better team fight for Na'Vi around the Medusa ultimate now.
Is under attack.
They're going to be the ones to go into the Roshan pit to try to force the action.
Fun fact about Dusa Stone Gaze, you can get stoned multiple times. Like you get hit by it once, if you walk in, you just get it, it can reapply no problem.
Yep.
Dire's bottom
And a long drawn-out fight around the Roche pit, or when you're playing with Axe Call to keep them pulled in, looking at you, that can definitely happen. Well, Na'Vi take the tier 1, go for the tier 2. But Spirit on the bottom side of the map have taken the tier 1 and going for the tier 2 themselves. We'll see the glyph get used from both sides. Both teams looking to protect their creep waves, protect their tier 2s. Dyrachyo not going to get this tier 2 just yet. And it looks like yeah, he's been jumped in the jungle here. Out of position, and Weaver forced to time-lapse out of there, and Clock dead. It looks like Na'Vi gonna maybe poke their nose in the Roshan pit. Clockwork instantly buys back, probably gonna start throwing some rocket flares, look to scout out what the hell is going on, because if Na'Vi get an Aegis, we know what that often means when a Medusa has Aegis. It means you're gonna quickly see that Rapier get queued up. Does have a Daedalus queued up for now, but that could very quickly become a Rapier. Nope, looks like he's gonna hard commit to the big item now. He wants something to fight with during this Roche fight, and Daedalus is gonna give him a big boost in damage.
And Crystallize is really, really strong, but that's never really been the issue.
Smoke up,
They're gonna walk up high ground.
They pop the Wukong cement. It's a hook shot. They get decimated.
What was that walk? Oh, they pop the smoke. They still go up the cliff, and now Crystallize is going to get hunted. He's out of mana. I don't think they have anything else for him.
With the Stone Gaze, but
that was the most confident high ground walk I've ever seen. And Team Spirit, that was beautiful.
Wow, that was a very big climactic way to secure yourself a Roshan. Perfect positioning from Monkey King on the trees. I mean, when that smoke pops, you either need to back or Axe needs to just go for a blind blink call. Like, you have two options. Blink call, I mean, you see nobody, so you don't know where you're blink calling, or you back off.
Yeah, I think you have to disengage. You see nothing there. You know that you've been spotted and you're on the high ground.
It was daytime as well.
It probably means they either somehow wrapped on you, or you've walked into the monkey on the edge, or they've got like cliff vision and you don't.
Yep.
That's the big thing, is like you don't really have vision there. You're just kind of walking up there, and it felt like there was a moment of just like freeze, and nobody really knew what to do. Urgon, though, knew exactly what to do. No hesitation at all. We're going to see that again. So they pop the smoke, and then they continue to walk up, and they're not sure, so they clump together, and they start backing up.
They were still on the low ground when it popped, which is even worse.
Yes.
So they saw absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they have no vision right now. All of their vision was centered on the left side of the triangle. Oh, that was a disaster. All right, they lost like 2 couriers. That's not good.
Magical's just on the enemy side of the map, preventing these items.
He was about to snipe a 3rd one, by the way.
Yep.
That was okay. It might still die potentially.
Magical. He's playing around these trees, seeing what he can find.
The worst possible thing happened, which Stutter stepped back together. They panicked and decided to run backwards into each other, and they just clumped up. If the cogs had hit the Dusa in there too, ooh.
Yeah. She got pushed in somehow. They're going to jump in on the monkey, but Clockwork's there ready with the cogs pushback. This is a dead Void Spirit. As Urgon going to pop the Wukong's command as well. Charges forward, once crystallized. He's being slowed down. He's lost his entire mana pool because of the Diffusal Blade. Does get back to safety. The Stone Gaze movement speed helping him out there. The Boundless Fragment behind the Axe. Axe in trouble. Needs to find a way to blink out, but he's taking damage over time, so he can't do so. Axe goes down. No Egg. No Stone Gaze. This is looking like trouble for Na'Vi. As the Omni Slash is going to slice and dice through the Phoenix.
They're going to chase him.
Looks to be next crystallized. I believe has buyback here, has 2k gold, it's going to be closed.
Oh, he ate the tree!
But
that's so sick.
Gets back to the trees. Can she TP out? Nope, gets caught by the stun. And Medusa dead. No buyback, was just short on gold. 150 short of it.
Too.
4 heroes without buyback. GG is called. Na'Vi get 2-0'd. And they are likely going to be eliminated from ESL 1 Los Angeles. They are now 2 wins, 4 losses. Spirit, on the other hand, 4 wins, 2 losses. These guys have looked amazing. Urgon, a superstar mid. Jirachio, new young carry player for the team, replacing IOTW, has been fantastic. And well, we've talked to Misha a few times, you know, he's looking like one of the new emerging CIS captains. They've been a real fun team to watch, Team Spirit.
Oh man, I mean, that walk uphill was so
on my mind. So say it with hope and you were sure I couldn't agree that we were meant to be, but our love is what they talk about in movies. Our love is what they talk about, what they talk about. Yeah, we were wild and free, and you know everything about me. So wild and free, and you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about. Save me from myself. I really need your help. I'm going under. Save me from myself. All I really ever wonder is if I really going under. Yeah, we were wild and free, and you know everything about me. So wild and free, and you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about. You know everything about, you know everything about me. You know everything about, you know everything about.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my, I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head. I've been stuck on your memory, but it's not like I need it. And we may have some history, but we don't have to repeat it. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I'm gonna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh. Can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm trying to live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. 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 Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Oh, yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face. I stood and wait because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated. It's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm trying to live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10.
Long-term Alliance fans also support it because S4 is back, you know? How could, if you're an Alliance fan since 2013, you probably saw that like, man, we were finally good, why they changed? But it's like, but S4, you know?
Now, the criticism's definitely warranted, but is this alliance that is... Are they just rock solid all the way through? Are they in a honeymoon phase? What is this that we're seeing out of their group stage, Blitz?
Hard to say if it's a honeymoon phase, right? Because, I mean, C9 was a pretty new team. Like, what was their honeymoon phase?
I mean, it'd be pretty sad if this is their honeymoon phase. Yeah. Maybe their 1-18 should have been a 0-19.
Dang. I really like Misery and the guys, too. But
yes,
you never really know until like you play it out.
Yeah.
I could see Alliance like continue to be successful, but you can clearly see like they're not happy with just getting top 4s and top 6s. This is a team that I think rightfully so wants to be first or nothing. Okay. I think that is, as a competitor, your ultimate goal. You know, as somebody who we got top 6 like twice, it feels terrible losing. Like, I would have rather at least one of them just, like, bombed out. If you told me, like, we had a 5% chance of getting first, or, like, it would have been last, I would have taken, like, I would have gone for that rather than just, like, kind of ending up in the middle of the pack.
So that's why sometimes these rosters aren't secure, even if they do see success, because at the end of the day, everyone is shooting for first. It's a highly competitive field, Tier 1 Dota is.
Yes. That's been the EG thing. They kept getting third place or whatever, and consistently the best team in North America, but they were never happy with it. They wanted to win championships, so they kept making small adjustments, changing their roster.
Now we've got a very different Evil Geniuses from what it was 2 or 3 years ago. All right, a little slow on the bans there. Team Secret.
Yeah.
What happened there? I'm not sure if Coddle and Tusk are the most surprising bans in the world, but it did leave them thinking for a bit and lost some reserve time as a result.
Maybe they're figuring out what meme strat to go for today. Like the team spirits. What do we do against Alliance? You know, how do we meme S4?
So do you just build all alliances? Do you build all a lineup of all Keen? Lineup of you could go for all spirits again.
All spirits, yeah.
Just races, right? Alliances.
Ah, I see, I see.
Maybe we stay away from that word in game.
Alliance?
Yeah, it's like, well, what can you even make as an alliance?
Yeah.
Like, I just want a normal draft that doesn't get hard countered by like one hero. You're gonna do this like Spirit Alliance thing, and then they last pick Meepo. Then it just like, for some reason, they're just gonna lose. I think for Secret, it would be dope if they just won every single game.
Okay.
Just win every game.
Secret, I think that's dope.
Yeah, Secret, just win
They
every
have
game.
other ideas.
You just win every game. You stay away from like the meme. You could hear Heen. He was like, I did not want them to do it. Heen is a competitor. He doesn't want to see his team mess around. He just wants clean 2-0, no stress victories. Yeah. Stay away from all the meme stuff.
And as fun as that was, I think Secret have come into this tournament and putting their best foot forward. Like, they were the first couple of series and days they were playing, first two Coddle Tuss like every game. Like, they were just like, this is our bread and butter. We're going to make you ban Coddle. Like, until you start banning it, we're picking it. Then it became the Nature's Prophet that Puppy was playing a lot of. So they are sticking to their drafting formulas and trying to basically use it. It feels like they're trying more to win rather than experiment.
Yeah. We only saw... They've only really been pushed once in this tournament, I feel. I think the Na'Vi game was a little bit clowny, and we overrated that performance by Na'Vi a bit because Matama Man did feed them a rapier for free, and they still lost pretty handedly. But I think Chicken Fighters is really the only team that has made Secret kind of bust it out and say, like, all right, we probably have to get a little bit more serious. But I think you want some good momentum going in. And Alliance is a very good litmus test for them to say, like, if we play really seriously, like, how good are we truly? And for Alliance, this is also a really good test. I think Alliance would also want them to take it seriously. Do you really want to beat them if they, like, meme it up and they go for, like, the Alliance draft, you know? What is that? There's,
I mean, if it gets me into playoffs.
That's true.
I wouldn't say no to it.
If Alliance end up winning, it doesn't matter what happens, right? They're in.
Yeah,
because they would have too many wins.
They'd have 4 and 2. Yeah, I believe 4 is the magic number right now. So 4 losses, you're out. 4 wins, you're in.
All right. And so for NIP, they need Alliance to lose, them to win, and then they need Alliance to lose again and NIP to win again. Who's NIP's last match of the?
Ninjas the Pajamas. Yep.
Oh wow, that's not easy.
That's a big match.
Okay. So NIP needs a few things to go right for them.
Alliance's turn to pick.
Do you know who wins the head-to-head? I guess they would win the head-to-head, right? NIP, because they did beat Alliance.
They did beat Alliance, yeah. If it's head-to-head.
If it's, we're not 100% sure, but there's a very likely possibility that Alliance could lose this match, NIP wins theirs, and then they both lose the last one.
Yeah.
And they end up tied. And
yeah, I believe the way it goes is head-to-head. If there's just a 2-team tiebreaker and then multiple teams, then it goes down to games.
Wow. Okay, that'd be pretty hype then. So this game matters quite a bit. Because I don't know if my guys will win. That'll be...
Rubik Centaur.
Rubik. This feels like a few patches ago was the go-to opening duo just for winning your lanes.
Nothing to hate about it, right? You Centaur high base stats, Rubik Fade Bolts, should be easy CS. You've got maybe a kill combo, telekinesis into stomp.
Everything importantly, it is a pseudo response because Nature's Prophet has been often run as a 5 position, and playing 5 position NP against these offlaners that want to be right clicked, Centaur, Timbersaw, feels amazing for the offlaners. That is not for Nature's Prophet. Fade Bolt against the Treants. If you're Secret and you see this, you're like, let's try and put Nature's Prophet mid or off lane away from these two heroes because both these two heroes love playing against NP.
So now that all those big name supports have been banned out, Team Secret are going to opt for an early core pickup. Monkey King after seeing Centaur.
Okay. Kind of fits with their style. This hero has been coming up in a big way too, Monkey King. People seem to really like him. We see OG pick him all the time. We saw Spirit pick him last game. Still remains one of the best at dealing with the offlaner in the early game.
10 seconds remaining.
If there's a hero that it's like, this hero wins its lane and does well in team fights, it feels like it's such high priority.
Yeah. It's cool because you can flex it between the mid lane and safe lane too, so you've currently got this pretty good laning matchup against Centaur, but if you find a really good mid matchup, like your Alliance, you're kind of deterred from picking these melee mids that lane poorly against Monkey King because they can swerve the pick to another lane.
Like even some of the heroes they like, DK, Kunkka, stuff like that is now not completely out of the question, but you're just a little bit hesitant, especially with the way that Limp plays and the way that he likes lineups drafted so that he gets the last overall pick.
5 seconds remaining.
So as for Alliance, we'll see where they look to go. They had
Alliance's
the
turn to pick.
second pick, so they're going to have to reveal something first. Probably where you just pick your 5 position, I feel. Like, center Rubik, it's very telegraphed. That's kind of the one downside, I think, of their open airs. You know exactly what hero is playing what role. Very rarely will you see a 5-position Rubik. I think you would want to give away as little as possible here and try to get more intel, which you probably just do by picking up the base hero.
The problem is, I don't know how much intel you get off of these first 2 picks, because you've already shown what your offlane looks like. Like,
Yeah.
you know at least minimum 1 lane, and right now, information-wise, Alliance has nothing. If they take a 5 right here, they still will show like what their safe lane and their off lane looks like, minimum, and Secret doesn't really have to show anything, like even till the last pick.
So is there a way to fix that, or did Alliance just make a bit of an error in the first?
I don't know if they made like that big of an error. Lich, I think, is a really good pick because I think Secret might have taken it themselves. Lich Monkey versus Centaur Rubik sounds just like broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit surprised that they banned Earthshaker considering they have Rubik. I think Rubik is one of the best heroes in the game against Shaker. Stealing Fissure feels pretty game winning, and it's really hard for Earthshaker to not get Fissure stolen.
Is there any fear of a Timbersaw pickup in this game? It's not banned, and Secret did ban Batrider.
Ooh.
Is there a different hero that speaks to?
I think once they see Alliance's 4th pick, if it still looks like a Timbersaw game, you can definitely consider it.
Yeah, so you show one of your supports here. So
like
now you
this,
know
yeah.
that is a 5 Oracle. It works really well against the Lich just because you can purge off. And
Centaur and lane, purge off retaliate.
Yeah,
That's like the best part about the hero, I feel.
Oh, for sure. And you still don't show any of your lanes. This could be an off-lane Prophet. It can even be a mid Prophet. In a pinch, you can do a carry. Like, you have so many different options right now. So Alliance have to show minimum 2 lanes. And I think they really hate being in this position draft-wise. Because now Nico Baby doesn't get to see what his lane matchup is. Yeah. And that's often how Alliance thrives. Like, Nico Baby will be a Morphling against a lane that can't pressure Morphling. Or he'll be like a Lifestealer in a lane that he can always rage TP. Like, he always knows what his set standard is. And now all he really knows is that this is most likely a mid or carry monkey, and that's it.
Yep. So the best way to abuse the fact that we don't know where this monkey is going is still keep our mid lane hidden, right?
Yeah.
If we lock that down, then Secret will adjust.
I think the one thing that they can also they can kind of make some strong guesses here and think that this is going to be an offlane Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable. I mean, it's either offlane or mid. I don't think Yapstar is playing it in the 4 position, personally.
So they know it's likely to be a core Nature's Prophet. So they can operate off of that knowledge right now and know that they have at least one matchup figured out.
You're expecting like the Nature's Prophet with that roaming 4 position, that Earth Spirit, that tiny Tusk type. Tusk is banned, I guess, but that's why they banned Shaker, I guess.
And that's part of the reason why I think Alliance is running out of time right now, because they're really trying to go through all the different options. And so I like this pick. So they're going to put the Pugna mid. It does well against Monkey if it needs to. And because Nico Baby has no idea what his matchup is yet, you're just waiting. That's all you're waiting for right now. If Nico Baby had more information, I think he would have said, like, oh, just pick me extra. Like, I know this is what their lanes are.
It does mean now that Limp is going to get counterpicked in the mid lane.
Is the Kunkka a hard counterpick, though? I feel like you still do okay there as Pugna.
I think it's a really good Kunkka game, though.
Yeah, it is a good Kunkka game. I agree.
X is one of the best ways to deal with Stampede, and Rubik and Lich don't really do anything against you. It's an excellent BKB first hero if you want to. You can even go Vessel in this game if you feel like you need more damage. Oracle is pretty good against Pugna too because you can purge off his decrep and you can do the combo and kill him. And you have 2 different buffs now for like not dying. You have the Kunk, the Rum, and the False Promise against a lineup that doesn't like immediately burst you that quickly.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it feels like Secret with Kunkka and Monkey King have 2 very tanky frontliners. Really scary teamfight here, and Alliance needs some great 10th last pick carry for Nico Baby to kind of pull everything together, which I don't know. We keep feeling a bit underwhelmed when we get to these 10th picks that there isn't that perfect hero for the game.
So you need a YapzOr hero now.
Yep.
Think like you want another like insta lockdown or something like that.
Stun, initiation.
I think you could do something like Clockwork too. I think it's nice against Pugna, Lich, Rubik, and Centaur. It's whatever against Rubik because he can lift you out of the cogs, but it's nice against... I don't think Centaur likes playing against the cogs. I definitely know that Lich doesn't, and Pugna doesn't really want to rush Force Staff against a Kunkka here.
Yeah, I saw Immersion last series put together a great Clockwork game.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good pick.
And you want an additional form of initiation anyway, right? Quite like that.
Ooh, I like the Ukban. That's one of those kind of gotcha last picks that can turn the game into Void Spirit. Something spicy.
I guess they're taking advantage of the lack of mobility. Or catch, sorry, from the side of Alliance. Like, they only have one really instant stun grab.
So, is that our forward position? We locked in on that, or we think there's some wiggle room?
I think there's some wiggle room. I've seen Zionist stream play offlane Void Spirit.
Yeah. Which means some sort of weird forward position, Nature's Prophet or something.
Yeah.
Is there any world Kunkka's played as a forward position? Is that hero just as a 4 dead? Because that used to be where this hero was played.
I think anybody would doing it. Okay, Wraith King.
Okay.
Let me say, this is my least favorite phase of Dota now. Where I kind of feel, this is like my public plea to IceRog, I kind of feel like you shouldn't be able to see anymore who plays what.
Oh, and if you have, if you can swap the like player heroes based on what your opponents pick, you mean?
Yeah, like, because you remember the other day where we saw OG versus whatever team, they just waited until they knew what the lanes were for sure. They ended up losing, but I think it's kind of silly. It takes away like that wow factor a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Plus, there's no like real rules to it, right? Because you just get to the end of the game and then somebody has to choose at some point in time.
So then you just wait and you play chicken.
Yeah. So it is going to be Nico Baby Wraith King. Is it a good Wraith King game?
It's not amazing. I don't think. Core Wraith King, you're fighting into Monkey King Kunkka. I feel like these are both heroes that can match up pretty well. You can just hold your ground fighting the Wukongs. Kunkka has ways to deal with the skeletons. I don't think this is an amazing Wraith King game at all.
On the other side, we do have YapzOr, Oracle, and offlane Void Spirits. That's the switch up that they did.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really value Oracle game, personally. I think it's hard for... They don't really have a lot of heroes that get to the back line very easily, aside from Centaur. And they have ways to protect this Oracle, I feel. I kind of feel like it's going to be a pretty free Oracle game.
Sounds like you guys are both going for Team Secret here.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, not terribly surprising after all. They're undefeated. Why wouldn't you go for Team Secret? But Alliance are going to try and put a rebuttal to that. We're going to go now to our casters. It's going to be Grant and BSJ.
Prepare for battle.
Indeed, welcome to game number 1, Alliance versus Secret. It should be a fun one, but sounds like the panel thinks Secret has a little bit better draft. And BSJ, you told me they picked a Pugna into Oracle. You see the odds there. Yeah, Secret heavily favored, almost 1-3, so. Sorry, BSJ unable. His mic is off, so I will talk. BSJ pretty much said that Grant, I'm his favorite play-by-play ever, one of the best players of all time. He thinks I should join Team Secret, and, we'll see if that does end up happening, but no, we are going to get that fixed for you. And, yeah, Oracle, as BSJ was saying, it just, this Oracle counters a lot of what the Pugna wants to do, and this should be an interesting laning phase for sure. Centaur. Looks like they're going to get the bottom 2 runes, even though Radiant does want to contest. Puppey continuously playing the Nature's Prophet, as he says, the carry Nature's Prophet. And you think they might want to switch lanes, and they really don't, because Puppey wants to play it.
The battle begins.
Oh, hey, what up, BSJ?
I'm back. Okay. Sorry for all the people that thought they could finally have me muted for the cast, but yeah, I did exactly say that you are the best play caster as well as analyst simultaneously. You're not simultaneously, but intermittently and alternatingly. Yeah, I said Oracle. This might be the most influential support pick I've seen in a while. Usually you don't see 5 positions get that whole promotion to the 4 position, and in this case I think it's warranted just because first off he's really not going to farm all that much because he's got a Nature's Prophet, but also because you can purge the Centaur Retaliate, you can purge the Fade Bolt from your carry, you can purge the Lich Frost Shield, and you can purge the Decrep from Pugna. So ignoring all the defensive capabilities of Oracle in this game, which I believe he will be able to do quite well because of Blitz. He said he has a bunch of frontliners to protect him and everything. I just think if a hero that's supposed to be a save actually represents a threat to me in the game, that's scary.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, we see Centaur stacking up his Retaliate charge again, but getting low. Top lane, a lot of harass too. It is a Nature's Prophet Lich, so Lich, he goes Frostblast first, wants to harass, but man, I feel like trying to out-harass a Nature's Prophet is almost never possible.
Yeah, it's just, he's got the buckler on Puppey. I like this. I like this a lot because Zai is Void Spirit, pretty low base armor, only 2, and Wraith King also with a low base armor, so rather than trying to mitigate the opponent's armor, they're going for buffing up their own, and I think that you're just going to win these trades, and you're seeing Nico Baby, he's getting body blocked and hit by these Treants. That Remnant
damage. Can he get in front? No. Close. Maybe you block him in there. He can't get through, but still a ton of damage. And Matuba, first blood bottom onto S4.
I'm pretty sure they're just going to stomp the lanes. That was my main concern here.
And I was surprised because I thought you picked kind of like a Lich, and you picked the Rubik Centaur because it's such a good lane, but it has like just that lane in general fallen off the, or is it because of the Oracle in lane against the Centaur?
I think it was just a small oversight that's going to cost them dearly on the side of Alliance. When I was watching the draft unfold, I think Oracle Monkey King might be the 2 best heroes in the safe lane against specifically Rubik Centaur that I could come up with. And it's obviously Secret picked it for a reason, but Monkey King obviously a melee hero against the Centaur. We're benefiting from the fact that Centaur's a melee hero, but also like whatever makes Centaur and Rubik strong in lane is countered by the Oracle. So Monkey King, who isn't always good against Centaur in a vacuum,
becomes much better.
Yeah, it just becomes insanely like I don't know how this Wraith King is going to get nearly as much farm, and as you're seeing, like right now they're about even on the CS, but I just have to imagine Nico Baby, he retreats to the jungle, is going to be struggling very soon, and that might be what they have to do. The Lich will help them defend the tower a bit with the Frost armor. I just know how Secret plays based on what we've watched. They're going to turn up the pace of this game real fast, and I don't know if he's going to have time to go that Radiance build on Nico Baby. So maybe he'll consider more of a mid-game heavy Wraith King. Maybe just go Armlet into Radiance, something like that.
Yeah, you have to give yourself a chance to be able to fight him. You just have 3,800 gold tied up and 9 doesn't do anything. You'll probably get run over, like you said. Middle, it is that Pugna versus the Kunkka right now. Kunkka, I would say it's actually pretty even. Obviously, an extra deny there on the Pugna. Bottom, they're moving in. S4 taking a lot of damage, but he thinks it's going to be Matuba actually just all that damage. It's a gank. 3 against 2. The Absol saying, all right, sure. Now I get free experience down here, and it's actually going to be a TV top from the Rubik.
That's a good rotation. They had to do something. The status quo was not good for them, so effectively they're rotating the 2 supports in order to have a 3-man gank that turns back into normal lanes. It's a very great way to alleviate some of the pressure, as it was already getting out of hand in terms of the CS and the side lanes. And yeah, the Oracle had used Fortune's End, and that's a really big timing for them because all of their aggression potential is negated by that. So capitalizing on that small 15-second cooldown is super effective, as Zibe, he just TP'd here. So that's a little brutal. Matuba with the boots, windlace, Orbibitum. He is planning on running some people down, as he also gets the stun onto the big camp value.
He does.
Super early. That's huge. No Quelling Blade even. He's fully aware that his damage for CSing is not the way to win this lane.
Yep, and middle, well, Nisha got a little lucky and unlucky.
No, he's okay. S4 is good.
Yeah, Nisha, unfortunately, he went for the bottom rune. It was top, but luckily, Limp didn't have his bottle at the time, so he just now flew it out, didn't get to refill it, but Luckily, you can abuse Kunkka, right? X, TP home, bring yourself back. Oh, Huntskin in trouble top. Puppy just gonna right-click him, throws him back immediately, Fade Bolt. You lose a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm under the impression from what I've seen that Kunkka and Pugna go quite even in the mid lane, but Kunkka in the game is just really good against Pugna. You have like multiple disrupts for his life drain, so he almost can never reliably channel it during a fight. You're usually too tanky for him to bring down. You can naturally go early BKB and still be impactful. Just a lot about what Kunkka does in the game is really strong versus the Pugna. So that's why they picked it, and they're just getting an equal trade out of the mid lane, both content to farm. And
3-for-1 rune exchange there, actually. Yapzor went and stole
already too.
Yeah, Yapzor, we saw him stole that extra bounty rune. So a quick lead. We do see the problem here, but Pugna versus Kunkka. If you have your Tauren on cooldown, he will just decrep and suck you. There's not much you can do besides throw a boat, which I doubt you want to do.
Yeah, he's got solid sustain with the bottle and TP.
Monkey King in a little bit of trouble. Disarm onto the Centaur to save him. Gets a boundless strike, but it's just a stun. He actually cancels his right click. Is he going to survive because of this? Oh my goodness. He gets up on the tree. And a nice disarm from Yapzor there. S4. I'm not sure if he would have had the kill of that last right click, but we'll never know.
Courier doesn't have a salve coming off though from Matumba Man, so he can't really go up anymore until he gets a whole lot of regen. Maybe Yapzor considers flying it. Oh, Puppy made TP bottom with a salve. Wow. That's some next level porting right there.
Gives it to, and maybe in Share Tango. Nah. They might not know this is coming because here comes a jump down. Do we have a stun? Not quite yet. Frost Shield will come out though.
You need to be careful about leading with that Fortune's End like that because you can save it for those defensive spells.
Uh-oh, Zibe will
or
be
just
going
make him
down
use it on S4 and then go on the other guy. That works too, actually.
Yep, a nice yank there. Puppy not only salving up Matumba Man, but helping get involved with the kill. Top lane, it does mean Zai's alive, but he is very close to level 6, and when he gets that, doesn't feel like he can die.
Grant, would you say that Puppy salvaged the situation?
Indeed, he certainly did.
I'm proud of that one.
He really, I mean, in all generality, this salvage, look at the Centaur now. He is currently level 4.5, while Zai is level 6. So, going well. Nico Baby, though, himself is 5.5, so it's kind of off-laners. One off-laner's getting stuff, one carry's getting stuff. Guess it depends on the speed of the game for you. Oh,
I can't believe how much CS Zai has. That's crazy. 55?
Holy smokes, I did not realize it. I knew he was like doing really well. I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, he's got FaZe Null Bassi working on a bottle. He's found Hanskin. Will it be a kill in the enemy jungle?
It looks like it.
Yes, one more astral step if he has to use it, which he will. And dead.
Puppy's like, I'll take that experience. Thank you. I am the carry, as we've heard him talk about in his interviews.
More importantly, he just delivered the the arcane ring to Zai. So he also has that extra neutral item. That's quite a good item for Void Spirit, the Tenant and armor and mana, and now this mid tower is gonna die.
That's so good because they see Limp committing on bottom, so they know where he's at. They can't get there. They're gonna go for it. They are gonna TP in, maybe trying to save this tier one. They're not taking because Puppy's just standing there, not attacking. By the way, I actually don't know.
I saw that. Doing. He's definitely just he's debating a puppy pause. His brain is on a puppy pause.
Oh, here's gonna be the next Limp. He's gonna get pulled back. Here comes the boat as well. This should just be a kill. That is 2 cores and Nature's Prophet. A little bit of a risky play from Limp, and it did definitely not pay off. Tower, who's getting it? They give it to Nisha.
Exactly why Kunkka's good versus Pugna. You just can't suck him enough.
Yeah.
To threaten his health pool.
It feels like at level 6 right away it's good, and then anytime after that, all of a sudden it's like you can never do anything to him.
Yeah.
Zai continuing to pressure out. Nico Baby did get the tower top though, wasn't denied.
Oh, that's pretty big. I didn't realize they were taking that at all, so that is a light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, or something like glimmer of hope.
So what does say, because we always see those safe land, pardon me, as we get initiation on Zibe. Should go down here, they get vision.
Okay.
And nuke. What is getting that tower for Dire mean up top? Because you normally see the bottom one go down, not the top one.
That's a tower of convenience, pretty much. That tower is one that either goes down super early or never at all. That's pretty much how that tower goes, as we see another engagement bottom.
And it's Nico, baby. Is he even going to be able to get the stun up? Nisha comes over, cleaves them down, and Nico, he just wants to chase the Monk King. Doesn't have the ulti. Oh, no. And they went for one, went for the other, and he's just gone. That is he not only didn't get the outpost up top, because Nico Baby's going for it, they want to still get a kill. They have to die for it. It's just Puppy. He will go down. But what a big commitment. Maybe he won't. Puppy. Oh, my goodness. The Yaps is out. They get the lip. You definitely going down.
The Tumman looks like he's going to go try to snipe some bounties.
Looks like it's Zai.
He's under a ward, though.
Gotta be careful if you're him. He is... Oh, he's with the creep wave. They're just pulling the whole creep wave away, trying to save that bottom tier 1. There's still 2 creeps attacking, though. They should be able to get in. Zai does get the kill on Zibe top. Lich TP top to try to solo defend. You talked about he can do that. Unfortunately, Zai is so farm. He can just solo kill you.
If I have 30 seconds here, I'm going to rush. I really love what Matoma Man did there with that rotation because never mind, they're going to fight as Limp gets warranted. Yeah.
What a fight. Oh, they do lose a lot of damage from that flame bolt. There's going to be the ulti from Centaur. A stolen bolt won't hit anyone, but it goes on Limp, so he's going to be absorbing a little bit more damage. Nisha trying to dodge some stuns. He actually does S4. S4 just doesn't stun. Got a little bit nervous about missing. And all the cleave.
Yeah.
All right, go on with your point, sir.
Basically, when most carries get invaded, they're usually going to rotate out of their lane and take the top half of the map. But Zai is just free farming there. Or he was, and he even took the tower on his own. And Monkey King going there would just yoink farm from his offlaner. So instead, he stayed bottom and picked up the runes. So kind of sacrificing his own game just to give his team more farm, which I thought was really impressive as a level 5 Monkey King at the time to just be like, yeah, it's fine. I'll let my offlaner get all the farm they want top and effectively deny the creep wave that he cut, as well as
is he gonna get this ulti too?
Oh my god.
Just being able to bait out the Nature's Pop. What the Nature's Pop ulti? It didn't have enough. It didn't all the way make it. They're still gonna get it. He needs 2 more attacks on them. Jingu, no, he doesn't. Can you get the little creeps behind him? No. They get the 8th remnant. Now you can block him, and this might just be a kill. The rest of Dire's running down there, but they've already given up.
5k net worth lead, 11.5 minutes, and this is the first round Monkey King. Like, they had to address it. This hero is like the queen of pain of the safe lane for me right now. This hero is scary. We said Sumail's been picking it in all of his
OG
pubs.
and Secret have been first picking it.
2 of the top teams have been picking it constantly. That alerts me the hero's probably pretty damn good. And even though they've countered it in game, it's basically been needed to be addressed so much in the draft that the rest of Secret's heroes are kind of just running rampant, to be honest. Like, even the supports.
Yeah, shout out to the Oracle. As you talked about, it's such a good Oracle. Middle lane, it looks like they're going to get, like, a Decrep lift, but he like, pre-casts his Purge on the Decrep, so he wasn't even slowed. He just ran away. Yapzor, this is a 4-position Oracle, and I'm enjoying it. Middle lane, they're going to be torn into a book. By the way, he does not have ulti. We just saw it get lost, but X gets pulled back. They're getting a heal. Oh, my goodness. Yapzor, because of the levels, has the level 4 Purifying Flames. That's 2 Nico. That's more deaths than Nico maybe has in a lot of games, and he now has 2 at 12 minutes in.
That's looking more like my kill KD score on the carry roll.
My goodness, and we do not want that. And once again, Handskin, dude, this cleave uphill. Nisha's actually abused that camp multiple times.
He doesn't even know for sure they're right there, but
he's just nailing them.
You can see the visual effect. Oh my!
Oh, somebody look! That's where's your HP? They're just getting destroyed. This is a massacre. Where did they even come from? This is like random. Just
a creep and just directing his
They're not even done.
where they are.
He doesn't have a torrent for 2 cents. It will be the gaze in. Yapzor will take the double. Here comes the blast. It doesn't matter. Fate's edict.
You can't pick Pugna into Oracle, man. You actually just can't.
This one, I hate to say because I'm casting it, but the draft, as you guys, you and the panel said, this Oracle's too good. This Monkey King went uncountered. It's scary. They're going to need a huge comeback fight. And hey, defending tier 3s, it does feel like that's been easier than ever. The only problem is you actually don't have the best tier 3 defense team. You don't got that Medusa or that long range. You've got an underfarmed Wraith King.
Yeah, Wraith King, I think Monkey King is one of the best carriers against him because you plop down your ultimate, and the goal of Wraith King is to come out of your reincarnation in a better spot, right? Like where they use Chrono to kill your initial life. But in this case, you're just going to respawn in the Monkey King ult that was probably used to kill you in the first place. And probably just die again, similar to like a Death Prophet who's already ulting on top of you. As Secret smokes up, finds Limp, and
he's more than likely to go down. We see the Frost Shield. Yeah, Zai jumping for it. They want to get a +1 in Zai. He doesn't even need help. Will they steal the kill? Yes. Yapzor says, I'll take
Yapzor. He's unstoppable.
You're going to die, Yapzor. You're going to give away.
It's actually kind of bad.
Yeah, you're going to give away that Radiant Gold, I feel like. I don't know. Zai chasing for more Handskin. Has to get out, and Zai is just a menace to Alliance right now. They cannot leave their base or he's on top of you. And this is going to be a tier 2. Pretty easy, it feels like.
That says a lot that a Wraith King's still finding a neutral item at 14.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Usually Wraith King's farmed plenty of neutrals at that point in the last 7 minutes to get that, but he's felt extremely pressured to participate in this game, and
they pinged him immediately. Right when Nico Baby showed up, Blue pinged him. Like, let's go.
Follow this guy around. And they're smoked up. Alliance, they have to fight their way back to farm on this map. They cannot be content with the amount of real estate they own right now. And their housing market is hurting just as much as in real life.
He was in very much trouble. He does it one more astral step and he makes it out.
Another
S4.
Wow,
he's gonna pop the ulti. They might get answered. This is a lot of gold. Don't forget, you gotta give it to Nico, baby. They don't. S4 takes it 628 gold, so he will be getting very close to his blink because of it.
Okay, okay.
That was like the best kill you could get, actually. You don't even care about killing a core. Get the support, worth 700 gold.
Definitely the most value for effort expended.
Well, Puppey just continuing to farm. He has a full mech on Nature's Prophet with the treads. Top lane has been pretty much ignored this game. Limp just now going up there, and he is still not even at the Aether lens yet. It has been a pretty lane stage dominated game by Secret.
Pugna from behind is pretty ugly. He's like a Medusa sniper that can't turtle. He relies on his team playing in front of him. He wants to be aggressive on the map with his team playing around him, and being forced on his own side is not ideal, as S4 blinks in, or just runs in, actually.
Yeah, he was just trying to farm the jungle. Matoman jumps on top, Frost Shield goes down, and the rest of the team goes down. Even the courier says, I'll be going down.
I believe Secret is reminding them, you don't own this part of the map, sirs. This is ours. We control this 80%, and you get the other 10%, and the other 10% is Roche Pit.
I know, Hanskin will steal an Invisor in there, but they saw him with the courier, so... Curious. Also, the Kunga build, you like this one? Armlet into Heaven's Halberd seems pretty good for 16 minutes in. No one can really hurt you anymore.
Yeah, if you needed it, you can go BKB, but since they're ahead, you don't need to rush that BKB. You just go for the similar concept, right? Just tank up, make yourself just a frontline body that sets up for all of your other team. Oh my god, the free damage on Kunga is so insane.
Yeah, and Limp taking a lot. Oh, he's getting sucked, but he pops it off now. It's really goes back in. Here comes the ball. The ball won't actually hit on anyone, but it gives the run to Emerald, so they're not taking that much. Yapster gonna hold himself. This Chain Frost is just bouncing back and forth. See, you might have overextended a little bit. Zai, he's going back in. Easy there. Matumba Man full HP. He does have the ult, like you said, maybe going for Limp. Blinks forward, gets a stun. Will he die before he gets decrep off? He does. Aether Remnant pulls him in. Zai is clowning on him right now. Will disengage. There's the decrep, but he doesn't do damage in time. Just jumps away. They get the pull. Zai almost gets a kill. He does. No astral step, but he dodges every stun. He has an Aether Remnant as well. He's alive. Oh my goodness, Zai, stop it. Maybe a little bit miscommunication as well. The Centaur and the Wraith King stun going out at the same time. He's allowed to dodge both of them. What a play, but...
That fight was about as good as it could have gone for Alliance. Their series of spells at the initial start, the three-man stomp from S4.
Oh, there we go. They found the Monkey King possibly.
No, they don't have... Oh my god, they don't have a Quelling Blade on S4.
And he's just jumping away.
Oh, no Quelling Blade against Monkey King.
And that's a good find. It's such a good play from Alliance from S4.
You have to have a Quelling Blade. You have to, as a kill hero.
Well, they just found a clumsy net, and that would have been nice, unfortunately. Not in time.
Oh,
13k lead. I hadn't even looked at the gold lead in a while. I was like, oh, they did just kill a core, but you see that's a steady climb. You know, you're not going to the top of the Alps, but you're climbing up the foothills, and you're feeling good about it.
All the spells landed there for Alliance. They had a three-man blast from the Pugna to follow up. The Lich ulti hit all of its bounces. Like,
best case scenario.
Yeah, if you can't win the fight that way, if it's gonna go even with every spell hitting, that's spelling disaster. They have the Vlad's mech on Puppey. He's super farmed. He's ahead of everyone on the Dire except for Nico Baby, and he's even close to overtaking him.
I'm surprised teams are giving him that, because he literally memed about him playing the carry, but even after that, they picked it every single game it's available. Like, it's not a meme.
Yeah. I just like the way that they distribute farm on Secret. Like, Zai's got this incredibly momentum-based hero, so his starts actually prioritize while Matumba Man kind of takes the back seat for the first 10 minutes or so. And then once, like, Zai knows why they gave him that head start, and suddenly he's actually being overtaken by the Monkey King, who is a fraction of his net worth coming out of the landing stage. So it just shows how the distribution of fighting and farming is really done. Like, they kind of hand off the baton. The baton, thank you. Yeah, they just hand it off to each other, and it's like really cool to, like, we've seen teams where they try to farm 2 heroes at once. You know, they'll have like a Wraith King trying to farm Radiance and a Shaker trying to farm Blink, and by the time they do that, they've just lost too much of the map, and Secret knows exactly how much they're allowed to farm, and it's quite a pleasure to watch. I talk about it every single time I watch them, maybe a bit too much, but somehow they just have this 13K net worth lead every game.
Oh, Puppey tried to sneak it. He won't even die. I know it's in your 5 position, but, you know, I feel
like... Not really. It's like your 3 position or something.
I'm surprised he gave that away. He did almost steal it, but S4 does get the blink time, so they will get the extra experience. He's in trouble now, though. Stacks up the Jingu, pulls him in, and he's just going to get whomped on. Zai picks up the kill. Mega kill streak, very close to his Ags, about 900 away now.
Radiance is online for Nico, baby, so maybe he can get that BKB after. I think you got to farm your BKB. I don't think this is go time. This is I'm going to accelerate my farm even more so time. Maybe get to my next item time, and as I wouldn't be surprised if Secret still tries to run at him, even though he has a Radiance. I think they're pretty well aware that that's not enough right now. They don't have a pipe or anything, so that's a positive. On the side of Secret, they don't have a pipe, so it's a positive for Alliance. As Oracle went for the Yules, so that's a very good defensive item for himself, but I guess since your Prophet's building all the team items, you don't have to worry about it yourself, being that you are kind of a 4-position Oracle this game. Even though he's in the 5 role, he's actually about to overtake S4.
Yeah, this has been a pretty clean game from Secret, an easy kill on Zibe. Yeah, if you're one of the supports and you're out and about, this is a Monkey King pre-death, so he's only about 500. You're going to be getting 2 to 3 shot pretty shortly.
This is a really nice Deso game. Wraith King, 10 armor, or 12 armor. Pugna 9, Centaur 14. That was with tower armor. Rubik 7 and Lich 3. So they're all, the closer you are to absolute 0 armor,
it's the most value.
The most value you can get out of negative armor. So
whoa, Matum Man jumps down. Gets
a very good value Deso game here.
Okay, Wraith King. Now they want to try to bait anything out. They're just toying. As you see, Puppey not there. Obviously, he can teleport in. But Zai just hitting top tower. Looks like they might get this tower for free. No Bloodstone in is to make it go quicker, but that's okay, Monkey King. The little things, BSJ.
Yeah,
oh, double damage for Limp. All right. Where do you, okay, so when you do take a fight, it has to be on your terms, right? As Alliance, so do you just get the BKB on Wraith King and just smoke up? I almost feel like you don't want to sit behind the Wraith King. I feel like you have to initiate the fight yourself.
You do have to jump the fight as Secret. They're looking to start the fight themselves as they smoke up, and Deso's coming. Maybe you even go for some late treads on the Pugna to make use of that double damage, win a fight. As they smoke up both, run into each other. And they don't seem aware on the side of Alliance. They are clearly looking elsewhere.
They are just beating up. There's going to be the X-Boat. Hits perfectly on top. And for Blinson after, he's not doing the most damage because of that Pirate's Run. Skin trying to get out, wants to cast some spells. Void Spear taking a ton of damage, but it won't matter. Nico Baby's first life goes down. It's a buyback from S4. Limp, he's here. He's not here anymore. Wait, yeah, no, he's not. It's going to be a Blink 4, but he gets saved at the last scene. S4, not even the freaking little bit of extra XP or gold. Won't get that. Gets beat down. 70 seconds dead for both him and the Pugna. They do still have their whole base, so I don't think we're going to see the G's drop, but that was a rough one.
I'm disappointed in Yapsor. He actually salved himself. He had the salve in his inventory.
I've got it!
And he salved himself.
The old double click when he's like, I've been playing this hero forever.
Yeah.
Double click.
It was honestly a perfect save from Yapsor there, but it was pretty funny. I was like, oh, he salved himself.
Do you just go top now? You've got the Deso.
Yeah, you're not afraid of anything. They don't have BKB. They don't have ult on Wraith King. He's actually queuing up a blade mail. Oh,
there goes. Oh, hey, they're back. Oh. Can they defend the base?
Round 2, baby.
Oh. No, they're all dead. And yeah, 22,000 gold lead at 24 minutes. Secret showing us why. You know, maybe they heard that some people were talking about VP being in top spot contention. They come out and show a game like this. Against the team, as we said, they need to win this series. And Wraith King, he's caught out once more. No more Orb of Venom, so Nico maybe actually will be able to make it. Nope, X into Aether Remnant. Pretty strong combo. You know what's up? Handskin, he goes down. Double buybacks from them. They're inside your base. What are you going to do? Well, they're not inside your base anymore. Good luck.
1,000 net worth lead per kill for Secret here.
Oh no, Nico, baby. He just bought back. Is he just going to die immediately? They don't commit immediately themselves. He's decrept, getting healed on the backside by left. Gets silenced up by side. They jump forward. S4 trying to zone him out. But Zai, as you said, so tanky. Last bit of mana will be an Aether, and S4 is going to go down.
Pipe.
Oh my goodness, the double torn. Good game called. We're going to watch Secret clean him up here on the way out, though. They're going to be the Rubik. Will they get lit before the game's over? It's close. He decrypts. No, he'll stay alive. But an absolute domination. Team Secret from 0 minutes in controlled this game, BSJ.
Dude, Puppy's so good at Prophet. Like,
for sure.
It's
For
insane.
sure.
The whole team's able to play around it so well. Like, your offlaner's allowed to build